Skies tonight, overnight low 45. Lots of sunshine and really nice weather with a high temperature up to about 74 Saturday. A little cooler Sunday with a high around 63. Slight chance of showers Monday with highs in the mid-60s. Then a potential severe weather system coming in by Tuesday night into Wednesday. We've got our eyes on it. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
1819 News.
U.S. Senator Katie Britt brought up immigration judges and sanctuary policies for illegal aliens while she was taking part in a Senate Judiciary Committee hearing. That hearing was regarding the nomination of Todd Blanche to serve as the Deputy Attorney General. Britt also brought up the massive court backlog that grew to 3.5 million cases in 2024 under the Biden administration.
If you take the previous 6 fiscal years combined, that is 26 times higher than all of those put together. And so during the first Trump administration, though, what we saw them actually put in kind of a more effective system to look at ways to ensure that we were establishing a metrics-based system for these immigration judges, and that we were actually looking to reduce the abuse of case continuances. It made a difference. Unfortunately, the Biden administration did not continue that. So when you're confirmed, you're going to oversee the day-to-day operations of DOJ, and I would like to know, will you commit to me to looking at this, to taking a look at what is not working, to looking at what the Trump administration did previously, and figure out how we can get this back on track?
Of course, absolutely, Senator. Yes.
Thank you.
I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Covenant Rescue Group seeks to directly support organizations and agencies that are fighting the global battle against human trafficking. They do this through funding, procuring, and advocating. You can go to covenantrescue.org for further details. They need your donations, guys. Hop on and donate.
A pastor from Mobile has been convicted by a jury for the rape of 2 women. Bradrick Vale was pastoring the Tree of Life Deliverance Ministries, which is where he met the 2 females. Vale will be sentenced to prison in April. Until then, he is free on bond. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
Since 1966, Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches has been more than just a place to stay. It's been a place to belong. For children facing hardships through no fault of their own, our ranches provide more than shelter. We offer a warm home, a loving family, and a future filled with hope. With open arms, we welcome these young hearts, giving them the love, structure, and guidance they need to heal, grow, and thrive in a warm Christian environment. Together, we can give Alabama's children the chance they deserve, a chance to dream, to succeed, and to feel truly cherished. Every donation stays within Alabama, directly impacting the lives of the children who need it most. Join us in making a difference. Visit alabamasheriffsYouthRanches.org. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and download our app from your app store. We'd be honored to have you as a part of our mission to lift up Alabama's youth. And remember this, it's easier to build boys and girls than to repair men and women.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
After damning politicians uphill and down dale for many years as rogues, vagabonds, frauds, and scoundrels, I sometimes suspected, like everyone else, I often expect too much of them.
This is the Trump country. We live in the Southeast. We drink sweet tea. We don't drink socialist Kool-Aid.
Joey Clark.
Oh, welcome into the program. And man, things just got hot all of a sudden in the news. I'm sitting here putting the show together, and I'm thinking it's a slow news day. Well, things just picked up, and picked up big time. Rarely do you actually get to see raw emotional negotiation going on in front of the camera, and that just occurred. Eddie Bader here in the studio. Craig Monger has a day off, but Byron Sheehy is back. How you two gentlemen doing?
Oh, wonderful.
Good to see you both. So let's just get right to it. This is, quite an exchange. President Zelensky of Ukraine, Vladimir Zelensky, was invited. Trump even, while meeting him at the door of the White House, saying, "Oh, you dressed up today," talking about his tracksuit, sort of already ribbing him.
Yeah.
And then in the middle of one of these Oval Office press conferences where the media is all in the room,
Supposed to be all nice and friendly, right?
this particular thing broke out. Let's listen in together.
About the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you are
Mr.
not
President,
strong...
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the President for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Come once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military?
We have problems.
And do you think that it's respectful
I will answer.
to come to the Oval Office of the United
answer.
States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless.
You don't
God
know
bless.
that.
You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because
I'm
you're in no
answering on this
position to
question.
dictate that.
That's
Remember
exactly
this.
right.
I'm not
You're
dictating.
in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very
you will
good.
Feel influence.
We're going to feel very good and very strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed
From the
yourself
very-
to be in a
from
very
the very
bad position,
beginning
and he
of the
happens
war.
to be right about
From
it.
the very beginning of the war.
You're not
Mr.
in a
Brown,
good position.
I
You don't
was
have
in
the cards right now. With us, you start
I'm
having
not playing
cards. But
cards.
right now, you
I'm
don't.
very
You're playing
serious,
cards.
Mr. President.
You're
I'm
playing
very
cards.
serious.
You're gambling
I'm the
with the
president
lives
in
of
war.
millions of people.
You think-
You're gambling with World War III.
what do you
You're
think about?
gambling with
What do you
World
think
War
about?
III. And
You-
what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. That's
with
back
all
to you.
respect to your
Far
country.
more than a lot of people said
very
they
respect.
should have.
Have you said thank you once?
A lot
entire
of
meeting?
times.
No, in this
Even
entire meeting,
today.
you said thank
Even
you.
today.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for
What-
the United
what
States
are
of
you
America
speaking about?
and the president who's trying to save your country.
Damn.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen anything like that.
I haven't. Testosterone is back, Joey.
I don't even know what to say after that.
It seemed like they were doing good cop, bad cop until Zelensky said what we would feel. And I think what he was alluding to was the threat of Russia.
Of Russia, yeah,
right? But as soon as he told Trump what he was going to feel, Trump went into pounce mode. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and essentially, like you're playing with World War III here. At one point, Trump also said, "You're either make a deal or we are out."
Yep.
Supposedly, there is a economic deal in principle ready to be signed.
What I thought he was here for.
Right. But then, like, it seems like I think Vance was. Maybe we don't have time to sit here and watch the whole 30-minute press pool, but it seems like it's going all right. But Zelensky started saying things to the press, and then J.D. Vance steps in. It's like, really, and then you just heard Trump putting him in his place.
Yeah.
I like it.
Did JD need to be there?
I like him being
like
there.
it. I like it.
I like
I'm
him
not
being there.
saying that it wasn't a good aesthetic, that he didn't provide punch. Did he need to be there?
Yeah, he's in all
Yeah.
these sort of meetings. Yeah, he's kind of playing point on a lot of these.
All right, let's go back in time a little bit. In previous meetings under Bush, Reagan was the vice president in the room when they were having high-level meetings with other foreign presidents. I'm asking.
I don't know.
I don't really remember.
And that
Okay.
was my thought. I like this. I like them two being together as if they are, showing they are unity. Now, granted, I don't think they expected this to happen in front of the cameras, but I love the fact that neither one of them shied away from stepping up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot that came out of this. And it just shows that, like, we're not messing around anymore. We're not playing the same games. And I think Zelensky comes across as a very desperate man, and the walls are closing in on him. Because he wants to keep the good deal going, so to
Sure.
speak. So whatever it takes, isn't that what Biden said? Whatever it takes. And we're going to try to keep that going. No?
Dude, he's a marionette with no strings. I mean, he was a puppet who was propped up, and now his puppet master is no longer, in the theater. Like,
right.
I imagine this dude's got like a lot of sleepless nights.
Dude, he's dead man walking. There's no doubt.
It's kind of remarkable to see this all playing out in front of the cameras. Here's a little bit more just to get a sense of what happened. And this is in the Oval Office, too.
Your country is in big trouble.
Can I
Wait a
answer?
minute. No.
Can
You've
I
done a lot
answer?
of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not
I
winning.
know.
You're not winning this. You have a damn good chance of
we
coming
are
out
staying,
okay because of
Mr.
us.
President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
You haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet,
You
and
haven't
not
been
only
alone.
in this cabinet.
We gave you, through
I
this
said
stupid
thank you.
president, $350 billion.
You voted
we gave
for
you
your
military
president.
equipment,
You
and you
voted
men
for
are
your
brave,
president.
but they had to use our military.
What about
if
West?
you didn't have
You
our
invited
military
me.
equipment,
You invited
if
me
you
to
didn't
speak.
have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks. Your country is in big
2 weeks.
Yeah, Trump's like, make a deal. I'm not playing. And here's, as far as my understanding goes, the Russians believe, militarily speaking, they have the upper hand. And I think it's because they do.
Mm-hmm.
Though all sorts of folks and veterans from the American military everybody who's worked in the Pentagon's like, that's obviously not true. I'm like, what? I wrote about this, on the first anniversary of the war. I'm like, I don't know who's telling the truth here.
Mm-hmm.
This will play out because a big part of the war is the constant lying about the war. Right. In war, the truth must always be guarded by a bodyguard of lies. I think that's old Churchillian sentiment. And so I've been wondering who has the more romantic notions, who's actually weaving a big tale, weaving a big yarn here, and who's actually got the goods. I think both sides are lying, clearly. But because the Russians believe they have the upper hand on the battlefield, you have to remember, Putin claimed Kherson, that oblast, is Russia. Putin claimed Zaporizhzhia is Russia. Putin claimed Donetsk and Luhansk are Russia. Putin claimed the Kharkiv oblast is Russia. They don't control, Russia does not control all the territories they are claiming is Russia at this point. The line of contact is not that far. So the Russians are almost saying, recognize those oblasts completely in a deal. I think that's what they're sticking to. Or no deal. We're going to keep fighting. So it's kind of a heck of a position. This is where Trump's like, you want to keep fighting or do you want to make a deal? Because as the fighting continues, and he just pretty much outright said it, we're done.
We're out.
We're not helping.
Right.
And that, even with U.S. help, it still would be pretty awful meat grinder. So I hope they just get the deal done, because my basic sentiment about all this is I really deeply agree with Trump's basic premise. I want the killing to stop. This war never should have started. It's sort of going the way so many folks when it first broke out, and especially after the Istanbul peace agreement is scuttled, it's going to just wreck Ukraine. It's, this whole idea of the Russian military is depleted and deteriorated. I don't see that.
Even if their artillery is not what it used to be, whoever's willing to go the farthest, I mean, sometimes that's enough. And when Trump said, trying to avoid World War III here, that's the, gold star there. That's what we're all hoping for.
Right.
So, man, welcome to the new sheriff in town, folks. Welcome to the new administration. Because I, again, have never seen anything like that in public. And it seems that both Trump and Vance in particular were a little annoyed with Zelensky. He was trying to essentially negotiate and spin his...
in front of the camera.
His perspective in front of the camera.
Yep.
Playing to the media.
Well, he was...
got them dogs barking.
You're not going to be able to sell the war effort anymore.
Not here.
It seemed like he missed the memo on the true nature of the meeting.
Well, plus here in America, we're done with it. Don't want to see it.
So I'm wondering, what was the actual underlying message here? What was the sort of deal they're actually trying to get done? The Secretary of the Treasury, Scott Bessent, was on Larry Kudlow's show yesterday, and he essentially said, here's the deal. We've got it done. Take it away.
Kyiv 2 weeks ago and met with President Zelensky. Since then, we have struck a deal. Their governing council approved the deal last night. So I have an agreement from their economics minister. So the deal is done. President Zelensky is coming here to sign the deal tomorrow. So there is no more negotiation. There is nothing else. I'm sure President Zelensky and President Trump will have a wide-ranging discussion. But as far as the deal, it is complete. It is on paper, and the Ukrainian government has approved it. It is just awaiting the signature of the two heads of state tomorrow. And it is a deal on strategic minerals, oil and gas, and infrastructure assets. And it's really a win-win because it brings the Ukrainian people and the American business community closer together. It shows the American people that there is upside here for them, that we have not squandered the money because the American people are always concerned about overseas interventions, that there's a lot of corruption. So this deal takes out the possibility of any corruption using Americans' best practices. So I think it's very exciting. President Trump is going to be the first president ever to create assets for the American people rather than debt.
So the deal is, in principle, done. All the economic folks, the governing folks have signed. I wonder, after what we just witnessed, what the world just witnessed, is that actually going to be signed?
I bet it will be.
It has to be.
Yeah, he's got to sign it.
I mean, it's literally either take this or not have a country.
Yeah, I think he wanted to show the world that he stood up, or he felt like he stood up.
Honestly, I gotta see this exchange again. Y'all with me?
Sure.
Yeah, I gotta, because again, this is just breaking, just happened. Let's listen in again.
About the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you are
Mr.
not
President,
strong...
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the President for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Come once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military?
We have problems.
And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
Yeah, as soon as Zelensky comes back with that, have you ever been to Ukraine sort of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is where it's going off the
Kind of took
rails.
up a notch there.
So let's hear out the president of Ukraine.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems.
Everybody has problems.
Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future.
Oh no, you shouldn't have said that.
God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless.
You don't
God
know that.
bless. You
Don't-
will not
you
have
gotta-
a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because
I'm
you're in no
answering on this
position to
question.
dictate that.
That's
Remember
exactly
this.
what
I'm not
You're in
dictating.
no position to dictate what we're going to feel.
You
We're
will-
going to feel very
you will
good.
feel influenced.
We're going to feel very
I'm
good and
telling
very
you,
strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed
From the
yourself
very-
to be in a
from
very
the very
bad position,
beginning
and he
of the
happens
war.
to be right about
From
it.
the very beginning of the war.
You're not
Mr.
in a
Brown,
good position.
I
You don't
was
have
in
the cards right now. With us, you start
I'm
having
not playing
cards. But
cards.
right now, you
I'm
don't.
very
Yeah, you're playing
serious,
cards.
Mr. President.
You're
I'm
playing
very
cards.
serious.
You're gambling
I'm the
with the
president
lives
of
of
the war.
millions of people.
You think-
You're gambling with World War
What do you-
III.
what do you
You're
think about?
gambling with
What do you
World
think
War
about?
III. And
You-
what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. It's
with
back
all
to
respect to
you.
your
Far
country.
more than a lot of people said
wearing
they
respect.
should have.
Have you said thank you once?
A
This
lot
entire
of
meeting?
times.
No, in this
Even
entire meeting,
today.
have you said thank
Even
you.
today.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States
are
of
you
America
speaking about?
and the president who's trying
you
to
saw that.
save your.
Oh, man. I did enjoy that part.
So that's That is what it is. Hopefully the deal gets signed. But I think putting him in his place, if he's going to try to do this on national TV, we're going to push back.
But now, you notice Trump, or I felt like he was still holding himself back.
Yeah, a little bit.
Imagine if there was not the press there.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, yeah.
If it really was the boardroom.
Yeah. And I think he held himself back very well.
Yeah, I think there would have been some shut the F up.
So that's why it was like good cop, bad cop. He was going to be the good cop until he couldn't take it anymore.
And this is coming off the disappointment yesterday of these whole Epstein files thing. We were waiting from the 3 hours we do the show, like what's happening, and apparently a bunch of social media influencers
which was strange,
were brought there, and it's like, and they walk out of the White House and they're like, we have the binders, we have the Epstein
Did
files.
you know those people? Did you know who they are?
I've recognized Mike Cernovich was one, Liz Wheeler, a few others. I just off the top of my head, I recognize a couple of them. And then Liz Wheeler comes out and said, actually, the way they presented it to us wasn't anything new. Then I'm like, why did you walk out of the White House then doing the photo op holding the binders?
Yeah.
Y'all fell for it.
And then, so the question is now, is it in the Southern District of New York? They're not cooperating. They're not giving the full files.
What we were told.
Apparently about a month ago, Maxwell, Ghislaine Maxwell, or is it Ghislaine Maxwell? I don't know.
Ghislaine is what I go with.
It's got an S in there after the G. And she filed like some appeal to the Supreme Court. So they're probably going to claim, no, because of pending appeal, we can't release all sorts of stuff.
Court cases.
And it's just it's way too convenient. Way too convenient.
Oh, shucks.
But, maybe it's the friends we find along the way as we anticipate till the end of the world for these files to be released. It smells to high heaven, and there's so many of those things now happening.
Yeah.
To where it's like, how many moments are y'all going to try to pull off where you're like, just blatant. The camera's turned off. The cellmate's not in there. One guy says, when I go in there, there's 7 people in the crime scene moving them around.
Yes.
How many, you had somebody almost had the president's head blown off. What do we know about Thomas Matthew Crooks? Anything?
No more than we knew on the second
Hey,
day.
mainstream media, CBS, NBC, New York Times, all you guys, if you want some credibility back, maybe do some but you won't because you're essentially part of the deep state. Yep. Which isn't that deep. It's like in your face state at this point.
They're complicit for sure. Do you feel like Charlie Brown, like Lucy?
I think. See, I've never been like deep into tell me everything about Epstein or whatever because I'm like I don't know. Most people yabbering about it probably don't know, but I would like to see it. Sure. It is a fascinating thing, especially after he didn't kill himself.
Well, plus they're supposed to let this out. Well, there's the JFK and then the MLK Jr. So if they kind of screwed the pooch on this, I'm losing faith in what's behind door number 2, 3, and 4.
Right.
Y'all trying to get a whole lot of people falling down some steps or having accidents with toasters and bathtubs. If that list gets leaked, nah, man, they're not going to do that.
And you got to wonder, who is in there? You got to wonder.
Probably some politicians.
Yeah.
We have a breaking statement. This is from Trump on Truth Social. Quote, "We had a very meaningful meeting in the White House today. Much was learned that could never be understood without conversation under such fire and pressure. It's amazing what comes out through emotion, and I have determined that President Zelensky is not ready for peace if America is involved, because he feels our involvement gives him a big advantage in negotiations.
Okay.
I don't want advantage. I want peace." Peace is in all caps. "He disrespected the United States of America in its cherished Oval Office. He can come back when he's ready for peace."
All right, so he was a little ill-behaved. Other than that, what was the disrespect? Did y'all pick up on much?
Well, because we're only getting the 2-minute clip. I think this was sort of a slow burn in. Zelensky kept going to the cameras and saying, no, we don't. We want to, we keep fighting. When he kept,
he's trying to negotiate.
He kept the narrative going that the former administration had set up, and he wanted to keep that going. What the Europeans are still holding on to a little bit, and what a lot of folks in the American media are still holding on to, and a lot of folks who are old Cold Warriors and they want to see the Kremlin fall, are still holding on to that.
Should be like the shortest press release ever. My bad.
I'm sorry.
Y'all right.
Right. I'm so sorry.
So to be sorry.
Wow. No deal. No deal at all. So where are the Epstein files? When are we going to have peace?
Well, do you think Zelensky gets out of the United States before he has to write that note?
If I'm that dude, I probably wouldn't leave, man.
Yeah.
I'd just be like, sorry, homeland. We gave it the old Ukrainian try.
Yep. It's absolutely crazy. And by the way, here in Alabama, for some reason, I think I know why, but for some reason, the Senate Republicans here in the state Senate, they don't have to let it happen, but they do. What do they let happen? Democrats, in particular, Roger Smitherman, but even more so, in particular, Bobby Singleton, they let them filibuster on end, I think yesterday in the Senate for 6 hours.
I saw that.
And what were some of the things that, Singleton in particular, Booby Singleton, he filibustered on Doge, DEI, Elon Musk. One quote is, maybe he'll bring apartheid to America.
Oh.
And then at one point, Singleton also said, y'all acting like y'all from the old Confederacy. Here's my sense of this. Why does the GOP allow this to go on in the state Senate? Because if they got a day, well, they're not doing much. And I think yesterday was one of those days. They weren't doing much. Not much was on the calendar. They're like, yeah, let these morons speak. I truly believe, and there's a clip, we could play some of the clip. 1819 actually has the video and the audio that we can get to in a second. But I think the ALGOP lets Booby Singleton speak, because every second that guy talks, the dumber the Alabama Democrats look, especially in their flaccid and impotent, unoriginal messaging. I would love for the Alabama Democrats to actually do something interesting soon, because it would make the GOP better in this state. It would make the state better. Instead, they weekly virtue signal to their constituencies they poorly serve. That's amazing. But I think that's why, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's why they let them talk, because it's like, that's the best the Democrats got. Y'all go ahead.
Yeah, but you don't need to let them speak that long. You can let them speak for 15 minutes and get enough sound bites for like a month. You know, I mean.
Right, you're right.
I mean, how many hours did you say?
6 hours, the filibuster.
Yeah.
And it was all about Elon and Doge.
Let them wear themselves out.
Mhm.
They're good to go for a while.
Yeah, I think that's the
6 hours,
reasoning
I
over
get
there.
that.
You're not going to let them.
Well, and you better believe, like, all that crap Booby Singleton's saying is like he doesn't mean half of it, because he's gonna y'all acting like you're part of the old Confederacy. You want to get dinner later?
I kind of feel like it's like Michael Che and Colin Jost like, writing the bits.
Exactly
for
right.
whenever
Exactly
they
right.
You're right. Yeah, it's just so fake. So we'll get to that in a second. But again, the breaking news is no deal. And their news conference, you usually do. We've watched a bunch of these with heads of state coming. We saw it with Emmanuel Macron. We saw it with Keir Starmer yesterday, where they do the talk in the Oval, then they do the big joint press conference to the whole room. Well, that has now been canceled. There is no deal that's been signed.
Right.
And it's all because of this. Excuse me for playing it again, but it's worth, if you're just tuning in, this just went down in the Oval Office with Zelensky, Vice President Vance, and President Trump.
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you are not
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Come once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military?
We have problems.
And do you think it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God
You
bless.
don't know that.
God bless.
You don't
God
know that.
bless. You
Don't-
will not
you
have
gotta-
a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because
I'm
you're in no
answering on
position
that
to
question.
dictate that.
That's
Remember
exactly
this.
what
I'm not
You're in
dictating.
no position.
Man, this sounds like something you'd literally say right before a breakup. Like, don't tell me how to
You don't
feel.
tell me.
Dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very
you will
good.
feel influenced.
We're going to feel very
I'm
good and
telling
very
you,
strong.
You will feel influenced.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed
From the
yourself
very-
to be in a
from
very
the very
bad position,
beginning
and he
of the
happens
war.
to be right about
From
it.
the very beginning of the war.
You're not
Mr.
in a
Brown,
good position.
I
You don't
was
have
in
the cards right now. With us, you start
I'm
having
not playing
cards. But
cards.
right now, you
I'm
don't.
very
Yeah, you're playing
serious,
cards.
Mr. President.
You're
I'm
playing
very
cards.
serious.
You're
I'm
gambling
the
with the
president
lives
in
of
war.
millions of people.
You think-
You're gambling with World War III.
what do you
You're
think about?
gambling with
What do you
World
think
War
about?
III. And
You-
what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. That's
with
back
all
to
respect to
you.
your
Far
country.
more than a lot of people said
very
they
respect.
should have.
Have you said thank you once?
A lot of times.
No, in this
Even
entire
today.
meeting, have you said thank
Even
you?
today.
You
Even
went to
today.
Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October.
And of course, like Fox News, get
I
the
know.
neocons off the damn TV. You bought and paid for shills.
They go there. Why
They
did
got
go
fat
there?
baby Karl Rove over there. That disgusting bag of crap. The only winner right now is Vladimir Putin. Oh, shut up, you big stupid baby.
I actually like listening to him.
Oh,
I hate him.
yeah.
but,
Yeah, right. You like listening to him,
Yeah.
but because you're just like,
it just like energizes me.
like, and there's something about the like deeply establishment people, like the grotesque, like shows, like physically grotesque indeed. We do have to hit a break, but I'm finding more things. Like, given all that just happened, I want to go to a clip from yesterday when Trump's sitting in the Oval Office with Keir Starmer, Prime Minister of the UK.
Oh, yeah.
And a reporter kind of puts out there, do you still think Mr. Zelensky's a dictator?
Did I say that? I can't believe I said that. Next question.
Dictator.
I saw that yesterday. I was like,
And that's one of those Rorschach moments where if you're a liberal, you're screaming your head off or you're just upset. And I see that.
He's lying.
my bad. Very, very simple.
Oh, did I say that? I wouldn't say something. Anyway, next question. I hope for all you libs out there listening that part of the reason we like President Trump is because he's honestly full of crap. And when he does like stuff, he's winking at you direct.
Yeah.
This we got to hit a break. But this part of the program brought to you by River Region Contracting. And there at River Region Contracting, Todd Clark and the team can help you with that roof of yours.
Yep.
Could be an asphalt or metal roof. Both can have unique issues you might not suspect. And maybe you are limber. Maybe you can get up on the roof. But do you know what to look for?
And a lot of houses, Joey, now are 3 stories.
Right.
Do you really want to get up there?
Right. And what if it's like real steep?
Exactly.
Yeah, like you don't need to be
You going to see it on your way down when you're falling off the roof?
Right. Well, are you going to know to look for rubber seals that are dry rotted?
No. You're going to get up there and go,
On a metal roof in particular?
this looks like a roof.
Right. Especially the asphalt like shingle roofs.
Right.
You're like, man, it looks like a roof to me.
Unless there's a limb or something sticking out, what
Right.
are you really looking at?
Right. So why not call up the professionals there at River Region Contracting and do it on a regular basis just to give you peace of mind?
Oh, yeah.
So you're not letting a problem fester and get more expensive to fix. And the great news is their inspections there at River Region Contracting are always free.
Absolutely free, Joey.
And if they do find an issue, that estimate, they'll write up an estimate for free.
Yep.
It's always accurate. They show up on time. They do the job well. And they're insurance specialists, so they can
sure
walk
are.
you through that claims process and make it a swift and easy experience. That's River Region Contracting. They're not associated with any other roofing company here in the River Region. They're the premier roofing contractor here in the area. Call them today at 356-8635. That's 356-8635. And be sure to tell Todd and the team that Joey and Eddie, those fellows on the radio, sent you.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Hi there, I'm Madeline Cannon with Alabama Home Mortgage. Getting pre-approved is the first step towards home ownership. People are often scared or nervous about taking that first step, but I'll tell you, it's nothing to be scared of. At Alabama Home Mortgage, we will take the first step and every step along the way with you. Call us at 567-4223. We will gather the information needed to tell you exactly what you qualify for. After a call to Alabama Home Mortgage, you will know what price point to shop for, what down payment is required, if any, and what your monthly mortgage payment will look like. We take all the guessing out of it. Then, when you find the house you want to make your home, you are ready to make an offer. Along with your offer, you will submit your Alabama Home Mortgage pre-approval letter. This shows sellers that you've already taken the steps necessary to ensure that you qualify to purchase their home. Wait no longer. It's time to take that first step together. Call me at 567-4223 or start the process online at myalabamahomemortgage.com.
That's Alabama Home Mortgage because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-36-8, Equal Housing Lender.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out collection letters, garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it even harder to get out of debt. Don't let tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in taxpayer assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualified. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Let them fight on your behalf, helping to put your tax problems to rest. Call the tax professionals at Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-367-6289. 800-367-6289. 800-367-6289.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Hello, everyone. Robbie Pelt with Capital City Roofing. If you think about it, your home is your biggest investment in life. Your roof covers your home, so why jeopardize your biggest investment on a roofer you don't know anything about when you can deal with a reputable roofing company like Capital City Roofing? We have an A+ Better Business rating and the best manufacturers and workmanship warranties available. We do all residential and commercial roofing applications that are certified through the manufacturer to ensure you get the best material and workmanship money can buy. We also have your project in our best interest before and after construction has been done. Don't hesitate to call us if you have any roofing issues or questions. We will match any of our competitors' price and give you the same great workmanship warranty. We also give free estimates. Give us a call today and let us show you the difference. 277-3311. That's 277-3311. Or you can check us out on the web at www.capitalcityroofing.com. Capital City Roofing. We capitalize the roofing industry.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network is brought to you by Ernest Financial.
If you're tired of losing your money in the stock market, call David Ernest, 334-279-7431. Ernest Financial, LLC.
Just a great forecast on this first weekend of March with sunshine today, high temperature up to about 71 as February ends. Clear skies tonight, overnight low 45. Lots of sunshine and really nice weather with a high temperature up to about 74 Saturday. A little cooler Sunday with a high around 63. Slight chance of showers Monday with highs in the mid-60s. Then a potential severe weather system coming in by Tuesday night into Wednesday. We've got our eyes on it. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Whether you're buying a home or auto or consolidating debt, CB&S Bank's personal loans get you where you need to go. Go to cbsbank.com to find a location near you or apply online today. All loans subject to credit approval, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. We have the full, much more context, actually. We'll get to that in a second. First, if you want testosterone just like the President of the United States, as well as the VP, Montgomery Men's Health can help you fellas out. Yeah, if you're feeling just like you just don't have that edge you used to have, and you're haunted by past memories of your younger self, like you remember how you could go all day, all night, pull all-nighters, like it didn't matter what showed up in your way.
Didn't matter.
You were able to run through it, and now you're falling asleep after you eat a sandwich. You know what I'm talking about, and you're never in the mood.
Yeah.
Like you just, and it's like you kind of want to be like abstract. You're like, I love doing that, but like it's just the moment's never right. You just aren't in the mood. No sex drive to speak of. You're seeing loss of muscle mass, unwanted weight gain. Just mentally and physically, you feel exhausted. Well, knowing whether you have low testosterone is huge in combating some of these issues, and the providers there at Montgomery Men's Health will conduct a testosterone-focused lab workup plus a consultation for only $99. It's really just a quick blood draw. They ask you a few basic quality of life questions, how you feeling. And if you do, in fact, have low testosterone, they have treatments there, a whole different types of treatments, like your pick, that can truly change men's lives. Men can experience higher energy, better gains in the gym. Brother. That's right, brother. Better mental clarity, improved sleep patterns, a faster metabolism, and you usually even notice an increased libido.
All right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You can actually book it. Stop it. You can actually book the same day that you call. That number, 440-3663. That's 440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com to book your appointment today. So, things are falling through between the United States and Ukraine.
Did you hear what his reply was when he was asked why he didn't have on the suit?
No.
According to C-SPAN, I quote, "I will wear a costume after this war will finish," end quote.
Okay.
So we have more of the full context here. We might as well listen in, because what we were playing was only 2 minutes. This is 8 minutes.
All right.
Let's kind of get a feel of more what happened in the Oval Office.
This thing over with. You see the hatred he's got for Putin. It's very tough for me to make a deal with that kind of hate. He's got tremendous. This is exactly in love with him either. So it's not a question of alignment. I'm aligned with the world. I want to get the thing set. I'm aligned with Europe. I want to see if we can get this thing done. You want me to be tough? I could be tougher than any human being you've ever seen. I'd be so tough. But you're never going to get a deal that way, so that's the way it goes. All right, one more question.
Hey, I will respond to this. So look, for 4 years in the United States of America, we had a president who stood up at press conferences and talked tough about Vladimir Putin.
Vice President Vance.
And then Putin invaded Ukraine and destroyed a significant chunk of the country. The path to peace and the path to prosperity is maybe engaging in diplomacy. We tried the pathway of Joe Biden of thumping our chest and pretending that the President of the United States' words mattered more than the President of the United States' actions. What makes America a good country is America engaging in diplomacy. That's what President Trump is doing.
Can I ask you?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So he occupied our parts, big parts of Ukraine, part of East and Crimea. So he occupied it on 2014. So during a lot of years, so I'm not speaking about just Biden, but those time was Obama, then President Obama, then President Trump, then President Biden, now the President Trump, and God bless, now President Trump will stop him. But during 2014, nobody stopped him. He just occupied and took. He killed people. You know what the contact line?
2015.
2014 and 2014. So
I was not here.
Yeah, but
that's exactly
but,
right.
Yes, but during 2014
clear.
until 2022, yeah, the situation the same. The people have been dying on the contact line. Nobody stopped him. You know that we had conversations with him, a lot of conversation, my bilateral conversation, and we signed with him, me, like a new president. In 2019, I signed with him the deal. I signed with him, Macron and Merkel, we signed ceasefire. Ceasefire, all of them told me that he will never go. We signed him with gas contract. Yes, but after that, he broken this ceasefire. He killed our people, and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Come once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know that what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems?
What?
Bringing people in the military? You think that it's respect to come to the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless. God bless. You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because
I'm
you're in no
answering
position
on
to
this
dictate that.
That's exactly what you're doing.
You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very good.
You will feel influence.
We're going to feel very good and very strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having
not
cards.
Playing cards.
Right now, you don't.
You're
playing cards.
Mr. President.
You're playing cards.
Serious.
You're gambling with the lives of
war.
millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. That's back to you. Far more than a lot of people said they should have.
Have you said thank you once? This
A lot
entire
of
meeting?
times.
No, in this
Even
entire meeting,
today.
have you said thank
Even
you?
today.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war, you
He's
can...
not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country's in big trouble.
Can I
Wait a
answer?
minute. No,
Can
you've
I
done a lot
answer?
of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not winning.
I know.
You're not winning this. You have a damn good chance of
we are
coming out
staying-
okay because of
Mr.
us.
President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
You haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet.
You
and
haven't
not
been
only
alone.
in this
We
cabinet.
gave you, through
I
this
said
stupid president, $350 billion.
You voted
we gave
for
you
your
military
president.
equipment,
You
and you
voted
men
for
are
your
brave,
president.
but they had to use our military.
What about West?
If you didn't have
You
our
invited
military
me-
equipment,
you invited
if
me
you
to
didn't
speak-
have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3
okay?
days, I heard it from Putin. In 3 days, this is something
Maybe
new.
less.
In 2 weeks, of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this.
Again,
I tell you.
just say thank you.
I said a lot of times
that there,
thank you
accept
to
that-
American people.
Accept that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong. We know that you're wrong.
But you see, I think it's good for the American people to see what's going on.
I understand, sir.
I think it's
I
very
understand.
important. That's why I kept this going so long. You have to be thankful. You don't have the
I'm
cards.
thankful.
You're buried there. Your people are dying.
tell you
You're
again,
running low
I know.
on soldiers.
Don't-
Listen,
don't, please,
you're running
Mr.
low on
President.
soldiers. It would be a damn good thing.
Mr.
And
President.
then you tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go and I want this. Look, if you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you take it so the bullets stop flying and your men stop getting killed.
Of course, we want to stop the war.
But you're
I
saying
said-
you don't want a ceasefire.
But I said to you,
I want a ceasefire.
with guarantees.
Because you'll get a ceasefire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
That wasn't
it doesn't
with
matter
me.
for you what
That
what
wasn't
this
with me.
means. It
That was
wasn't
with
you.
a guy named Biden who was not a smart person.
This
That
is
was
your,
with,
this
that was
is
with
your
Obama.
president. It was your president.
Excuse me. That was with Obama, who gave you sheets, and I gave you javelins.
Yes.
I gave you the javelins to take out all those tanks. Obama gave you sheets. In fact, the statement is Obama gave sheets and Trump gave javelins. You got to be more thankful, because let me tell you, you don't have the cards. With us, you have the cards. But without us, you don't have any cards.
One more question to Vice President.
Man.
How about that?
It's one for the history books.
Indeed, it is. So, all that arguing, all talk of war and people dying, makes a man hungry. And this part of the program brought to you by Smokehouse Pit Barbecue, and man, you can get some eating done there.
I could do some eating.
Like, we need to go get that fat boy breakfast.
I'm ready, buddy.
Like, I weighed under 200 today.
That's one of us.
Yeah, so I'm like, I can, you know,
You got a little bit of room to
I can do a little more maintenance eating, so I could pick out on some, like a big old pancake, a bunch of samples of all the breakfast meats they have there. And by the way, you might be thinking a barbecue place at breakfast. Yes.
Yes.
It's, I think, the
For
best,
all the right reasons,
best
yes.
breakfast in the area. It truly is. Those cheese grits are to die for. But of course, if you're looking for great barbecue, best barbecue in the river region, and they're back to the original recipes that made Smokehouse Pit Barbecue famous. And we're talking, you know what, pulled pork sandwiches, ribs, camp stew, brisket, the great fixins or sides there.
Okra and I want some fried okra right now more than anything.
Yeah, I love fried okra.
So good. Some good mac cheese. You know, I like to take a little bit of brisket too and put it in the mac cheese.
Do you put like barbecue sauce? I like to take hot barbecue sauce, kind of put on everything, but on mac and cheese.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
100%.
It's all right.
Mashed potato or baked potato.
Spice to it.
Yeah. So the point is, get by Smokehouse Pit Barbecue like right now. Of course, you can get it to go, or you can dine in, and they always have great entertainment on the evening. So go get some dinner tonight, sit at the bar, have a nice beverage, and enjoy yourself. But of course, maybe you can stop by for breakfast tomorrow morning. Again, that's Smokehouse Pit Barbecue. They're located same location they've always been, Main Street in Millbrook. And be sure when you stop by to tell them that Joey and Eddie, those fellas on the radio, sent you.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Are you happy with your IT support company? Do they resolve your company's computer issues quickly, or do they leave you down and frustrated? You need your computers working and problems resolved quickly and permanently. GTI is different. GTI has a high standard of affordably supporting and protecting businesses like yours since 1999. Call them now at 819-4650, 819-4650, or visit gtinow.com.
The Tears family has been your local Roto-Rooter service since 1964. Drain cleaning, plumbing repair, and those troublesome septic tanks, no problem. Technology has changed a bit in the last 54 years. Video inspections of lines to locate problems is available, as well as scheduling your appointment online. River Region residents have trusted Roto-Rooter for over half a century. You can too. Call today at 272-7130 or visit online at rotorooteralabama.com.
Call Roto-Rooter, that's the name, and lethal troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
This is Matt Woodham with Woodham Southside Firestone. As a businessman, you need to watch your advertising dollar. We've been using Blue Water Broadcasting for many years. Blue Water Broadcasting is the biggest bang for your buck. Blue Water Broadcasting and Woodham Southside Firestone, great combination.
Radio reaches over 90% of everyone in the river region. Shouldn't your ads be out there where your customers are? Call us to find out more. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
This is how you conduct yourself in a democracy?
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to funds. Talk to Austin Baranko with Invista Advisors. Hey, Austin, how you doing today?
Hey, having a great Friday, Joey. How about you?
Oh, we're just reacting to the real-time news happening in the Oval Office. I thought it was going to be an easy, slow Friday news day, and nope. Got a lot of surprises.
You talking about Zelensky?
Yep.
Yeah, I've seen some notifications come through on my phone recently that the meeting did not go quite according to plan. Sounds like he's getting bulldozed by Trump. And maybe they canceled the press conference. Is that true?
Yeah, and canceled the signing of this minerals deal.
Yeah, I hadn't had a chance to read up on all the news yet, but it sounds like Zelensky's not doing himself any favors today.
Right. And, we've seen this before in international politics, the walk away, the sort of blow up, and emotions can boil over. So we'll see. And there's honestly not too much to read up on. This has been happening in real time over the past hour. So I guess we will see what comes of it. But before I run out of time in this hour, let's remind folks of y'all's approach there at Invista Advisors, because I don't want people walking away thinking it's just like, stocks and investment. Y'all are really doing a across the board, personalized approach to planning people's financial future.
Yeah, that's right. And, we do have a very deep bench of talent on the investment committee where we select investments, but we don't even recommend investments until we understand someone's financial picture. That includes their income, expenses, goals. Do they have kids they want to send to college? Do they have, retirement home, hopes? And by retirement home hopes, I don't mean being in a retirement home. I mean having, multiple properties. Or when we talk late stage of life, do you need a retirement home, or would you rather have a long-term care policy to help cover some of those costs so you can have in-home care? There's, lots of different ways to look at someone's financial picture, and that's really what we always start with is let us know what you need and what you're looking for from a financial perspective, and then we can build a plan for you. And I just wanted to thank you, Joey. I've had a couple of calls this week from guys that listen to you regularly, and so if there's anyone out there listening that has been interested in calling and hasn't, people do it all the time, so we'd love to hear from you.
Beautiful. And folks, the conversation just starts with a call at 387-0094. Again, that's 387-0094. And be sure to tell them when you start that conversation, hey, I heard Austin talking to Joey on the radio there.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Joey, and y'all have a great weekend.
You too, man. Great to hear from you. And, we're up against the top of the hour break. Reacting in real time to all this, I mean, it's fascinating. Again, I find one aspect of this crazy is that how did the Democratic Party become the party that's defending failed institutions, and that is then like saying peace? Peace? Really? We can't have peace.
Money, profit.
Yeah, right.
There you go.
Right. They're just cosplaying being anti-war during the Bush years.
Feigned outrage, man.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of this has roots in the whole Russiagate scam. Like, you train people to really hate the Russians. The Russians stole the election. Trump is Putin's puppet. And that sort of stuff leads to war. And I think what we've lost is we're very good at moral posturing and telling a great narrative about why we're the good guy. And I think that's largely because, compared to everybody else, we are the good guy. But we've forgotten, power. Like, I was trying to make the point in the middle of that argument with that one dope yesterday. He brought up the Magna Carta. It's like, a lot of the people that got that signed ended up killed by the very king they signed it with.
Right.
And, that's the thing. You can put great ideas and ideals and things on paper, unless you have the strength to see these things through, and ideally to where no fighting ever happens, because you're so strong, the other side's so strong, it's just insane to even do. But I think that's kind of what we've forgotten. We got fat and happy being the world's hegemon. And we thought, the Russians won't do anything. And if they do, we can push them back. It's just, I think it's hubris is what it is at the end of the day.
Well, you're right. I mean, it's our fault if we did lull ourselves into that trap. I mean, how long have we been here as a nation? A few hundred years.
And what's amazing, and I would recommend Scott Horton's book, Provoked. He documents going back to after the Cold War ends, like all these old graybeards in the U.S. government saying, don't expand NATO. Why? Because you are just asking for a fight with the Russians. Like, don't expand it. It's like, well, who do you mean? I mean, William Perry, the Secretary of Defense for Clinton. I mean, Robert Gates, who was Secretary of Defense for both Bush and Obama. I mean, George Kennan, who was really pissed off, saying, y'all are destroying my life's work. We went decades trying to win this Cold War, and you're now going to undo all of this? And what Kennan in particular predicted is that they're going to expand NATO eastward, eastward, eastward. Russia's going to react. There's going to be a war, and everybody was all for expanding. Goes, see, this is why we needed to expand.
Right, uh-huh.
Kennan himself, George Kennan, called it. You have people in the room who are like, yeah, we probably shouldn't be doing this, but all of a sudden, for some reason, it would always go in one way.
It's like they're creating the demand almost, right?
Absolutely crazy. And you know what? If you want to expand NATO, Be strong enough to actually defend it.
Maybe don't expand it. Maybe take the countries that you have and just have them invest more so that they're more robust.
Yeah. Anyway, we got at this top hour break. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Jason Walker. Millions of people watching today as the scene unfolded on live TV, probably never seen before. Today's meeting between Donald Trump and Volodymyr Zelensky devolved into a loud few moments of heavy tension, two leaders raising their voices. President Trump said Zelensky was, quote, gambling with millions of lives, suggesting that his actions could possibly trigger World War III. Meanwhile, it remains unclear at this hour if that scheduled signing of an agreement on rare earth minerals will now take place sometime later today. As a matter of fact, right now it's not even clear if the two men will agree to sit down later this afternoon and continue their talks. In an attempt to hold them, White House is not saying anything specific right now. This is SRN News.
Hey everybody, Charlie Kirk here. My schedule is about as crazy as it gets. 2 years ago, I made the decision to take control of my health. I chose my PhD weight loss and nutrition because I needed a plan that fit my hectic lifestyle. I quickly lost over 40 pounds, and it was simple. They customized a plan for my body and my schedule. Now I have the energy and focus to get through my busy day. PhD will help you too, and they won't let you fail. Just give them a call, schedule your weight loss consultation to see if the program is right for you. Call 864-502-1777. That is 864-502-1777. The first 11 callers who mention healthy will get 2 free weeks added to their weight loss package. Call 864-502-1777 and mention the word healthy, or visit them at myphdweightloss.com. That is myphdweightloss.com.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by the Harriet 2.
The Harriet 2 Riverboat has the perfect way to start your weekend each Friday with the Spring Dinner Cruise. Enjoy live entertainment, dine on a delicious family-friendly dinner with your favorite beverage from the Cash Bar. Boarding starts at 6:30 and the cruise at 7. Book your cruise today at funandmontgomery.com.
Just a great forecast on this first weekend of March with sunshine today, high temperature up to about 71 as February ends. Clear skies tonight, overnight low 45. Lots of sunshine and really nice weather with a high temperature up to about 74 Saturday. A little cooler Sunday with a high around 63. Slight chance of showers Monday with highs in the mid-60s. Then a potential severe weather system coming in by Tuesday night into Wednesday. We've got our eyes on it. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
You can make your ASC loan payments from your phone anytime, anywhere. It's quick and easy. www.yourasccu.com. Federally insured by NCUA.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. The Montgomery Zoo will transform into a massive carnival atmosphere tomorrow for the annual Zoo Weekend Spring Fundraiser. The two-day event will be filled with family-friendly entertainment, games, prizes, rides, and much more. Zoo Weekend takes place Saturday and Sunday at the Montgomery Zoo and Man Wildlife Museum. The Montgomery County Board of Education is scheduled to announce the top 6 candidates to become the next superintendent of Montgomery Public Schools today. MPS is currently under the leadership of interim superintendent Jamie Wilson, who replaced Dr. Melvin Brown after his resignation last fall. 2 people have been killed in a Montgomery apartment fire. The fire was reported early Thursday morning just off Troy Highway in the 4700 block of Parktown Way. After extinguishing the blaze, firefighters discovered an adolescent male and an adult dead in the second-floor apartment. The cause of the fire is under investigation. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson with the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. My last message was the report for 2024 real estate market in the River region. According to industry experts, they predict for 2025 we will have more inventory to choose from for our buyers, more buyers for sellers to show their houses to. Here are 5 tips for buyers or sellers in 2025. Number 1, sellers need to price their home at fair market value with the help of your realtor. Number 2, buyers need to be pre-qualified by a local lender prior to shopping for a house to save them time. Number 3, use a certified residential specialist or CRS to purchase or sell your home. Less than 2% of realtors nationwide have this designation. You need an expert now. 4, use someone with 48 years of real estate experience to help you with your largest investment. Number 5, quit waiting. Now's the time to buy or sell. Call Bo Goodson at 221-2883, the Goodson Group, or 551-0225.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
This is a Trump country. We live in the southeast. We drink sweet tea. We don't drink socialist Kool-Aid.
Oh, girl, baby girl. Oh, really? Don't even play.
Shut up, silly woman. This is how you conduct yourself in a democracy.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back into the program. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Bader's the one wearing the pool liner. Byron Sheehy wearing a normal shirt. And, actually, what is that? Is that like a...
I think this is like water camouflage.
It's like what?
Water camouflage.
Oh, water camouflage.
I think that's what...
Oh, that's the one you got embroidered with 2 pies on it.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. When you get in the ocean, like scuba diving, they wear a lot of this kind of stuff. You kind of, literally, camouflage it.
Okay.
Kind of weird.
I'd use it to go duck hunting, but I guess scuba diving also works.
I use it to eat pies.
So as the reaction in real time to this blow up in the Oval Office between Zelensky, Trump, J.D. Vance, it's being reported by Fox News now that Zelensky and the Ukrainians were begging to stay, and like, since it was Ari, and Rubio, Secretary of State Rubio, and National Security Advisor Waltz said, no, y'all got to go.
Now's a good time to leave.
But there's like, I'm looking at more hawkish point of view, everybody's kind of like, Zelensky's done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you were saying off air, Byron, I think this is almost the plan. Sort of to put him in his place. Now, he didn't necessarily do himself favors either. But I think the plan was sort of to put this guy in his place in front of the world. Vance called Zelensky disrespectful in the Oval.
Yeah, he did. And he was.
Well, welcome to having a new sheriff in town. Urbanite has been very patient. Let's go to him. Hey, how you doing?
How's it going?
Hey, Urbanite.
I can always enjoy watching a train wreck, but this isn't funny. This is actually diplomacy 101, and sometimes transparency isn't the best thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe Zelensky needs to cry about getting his butt kicked by the Russians, and then needs to be on camera.
I think this was the idea.
That would have been better than what he did.
Well, the thing is, Trump, who I think we all like because of his personality, he came at that dude from, joking about his clothing to, I guess, wanting to establish, I told you I was right, and he wants his quote-unquote deal, but Zelensky's got the cards right now, if you think about it. If you analyze this, think about what young Europe's going to think about this, the way we're leaving that poor guy hanging with the Russians picking on him. we're not going to look so good when this is over with. Zelensky was right about that.
But you're looking at it like there's going to be a Europe. If there's a escalation and we do get into World War III, there's not going to be anything.
Oh,
I mean,
I know.
that's
There will
been
be
pretty precise
Well, and
calculus
also
there.
from the speeches and stuff that happened weeks ago, I think the Trump team clearly wants Europe to be a little mad at them, so
Right.
Europe actually picks up
Stand up
and
and do
carries their
something.
own weight.
Yep.
Okay, I got you there. But you know what? It's good to get to that point, but getting to that point gets real messy. I mean, I get it. Europe should have come up to the plate when Putin put the 50,000 people. I think it was like 50 or 100,000 on the Ukrainian
The border.
doorstep.
Yeah.
2 years ago, Europe should have been on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
But because they weren't, it built up into a charade that went into this fake freaking war, which went into this planned massacre, basically, and a whole lot of destruction that can't be put back for under $1. Can you imagine what it's going to cost to put Ukraine back in order?
Oh, trillion.
When I was stationed in Europe, I still saw bullet holes.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm stationed in Europe in the 80s during the Reagan years.
Mm-hmm.
I still saw bullet holes, and we still found bombs from World War II. Can you imagine how much crap they're going to deal with for the next 30 years over there?
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, our side, a bit childish, his side a bit emotional. I don't know if they need to be seen. I don't know if this whole thing should have been, quote-unquote, transparent. It probably needs to be in the shadows like it normally is.
I simply disagree. I don't necessarily even have a good reason, but I like the transparency. I like being able to see it. And like let this boil over, and because I prefer this to like having a bunch of reporters characterize it for me.
I agree with you on that. I agree with you that without the spin, it works. The problem is that now that it's happened, and most people will take from this what they take from this based on their background and their education.
Yeah, they're prior.
I mean, I've got NATO experience, so I get it. But how many other people are going to get it? And they're only going to see the ugly in how this went. And that's going to be the problem because the media is going to spin the ugly.
Well, I don't
because
know.
That's what sells papers and that's what sells clicks.
True.
Seriously, though, was it going to turn out any other way other than ugly?
It's a good question.
I think had it been manipulated enough, it could have. The thing about the mineral deal is that the mineral deal seems so capitalist as to probably seem ugly to most other cultures. I get the mineral deal. The problem is, if I'm hearing it correctly, most of the positions where the minerals are the Russians have right now. You think Putin's going to be dumb enough to walk away from all that money?
No. But and then you get into like who could actually best render this stuff, who could actually harvest this stuff the best. I suspect if you're going to get land swaps, you're going to probably have some joint agreement about where all these minerals are going. A big part of like Putin's beef when the government, right before the government's overthrown in 2014, is the EU and the Russians had always had sort of their own like trade agreement, and bringing Ukraine in really screwed. It was like it got around the agreements the Russians had with the Europeans and the EU and trade-wise by bringing Ukraine into the European fold. And then when you see the government overthrown, they're obviously not going to let their naval base in the Baltic Sea be taken. And then we let essentially a civil war fester for several years. 14,000 people die, I think, after 2014 before the full invasion. I think the Europeans did not negotiate. Maybe the Russians weren't negotiating in good faith with all the Minsk agreements. And so this has been sort of just a train wreck running for a while now. So I'd imagine it will all come back to the money and what are the actual trade agreements. And there might be a way for the United States with this mineral agreement. I'm not an expert on this. This is my sense of it, this is how you would kind of settle it at what originally started the conflict.
Let me ask you something. Would you like to be the president of a company that sets up a mineral mining operation and I have a coup and I take your property? Because that's what's going to happen. You know that, right? Anybody who commits to that place is going to lose their underwear. It's some coup or some.
Yeah, but what you might though if you're that company and you're essentially making money for everybody.
Well, you're making money on the market, and you're making, like you said, for everybody, because it would probably be an international level company. That's the only people.
Well, some of those minerals will probably go to Russia. There was talk that Russia would send a lot of aluminum to the United States, and then it would also be money towards actually that trillions that you need to rebuild Ukraine. And it would keep the big fight over the Russians and the Europeans and their trade negotiations standards, which is now beyond just trade issues, obviously.
It'd probably be a state-backed company.
Let's face it, both sides of this situation are, quote unquote, I'm not calling them fragile, but both sides are not, especially after the Biden administration screwed us over, we're not looking great, and we're not going to do good from a PR standpoint.
Yeah, I think part of what the Trump administration in general, beyond just Russia and Ukraine, is trying to do is break with the post-war consensus, or let's just say the unipolar moment idea, the indispensable nation thing after the end of the Cold War. Vance's speech has made that clear. Rubio himself has made that clear in his confirmation hearings that world's over. We're going to resettle deals for the future.
Hey, can I say one thing?
Mm-hmm.
We'll know the impact of it by how the BBC characterizes everything in later news broadcasts.
Doesn't Germany have an election coming up pretty soon?
No, seriously. I mean, it's not that the truth, we're not dealing with the truth anymore. We're dealing with spin. And
but the BBC's what
They're one of
brings
the
the
worst
truth?
spinners that I know of.
So what did you say?
I said I think the BBC is one of the worst spinners that I know of, as far as news.
Well, yeah, but they still got CNN level clout internationally.
I see your point.
Yeah, they got that.
Say that out loud.
No, you're right.
I mean,
about that.
it's all competing narrative at this point, especially on stuff like this. It's so complicated when you actually get into the details that it's all narrative weaving on the international stage. But great call, man. And I mean, we're just reacting in real time. So
I know, that's what I love. I love the fact this is in real time, but this is the wrong subject to be in transparent mode. It really is.
Well,
this is a good example of, things that need to be hushed at conferences type stuff.
Finland's got one coming up. That might be a good one.
All right, take care.
appreciate it, overnight. No, the Germans already had their election. The center-right party won, and AfD, the more hard-right, did fairly well. So they'll probably be part of
a deal. Is that how that works?
I don't know. They have to create a coalition, a governing coalition.
So I was just talking about the proximity to all the going-ons right now.
Oh, sure. Well, and apparently Romania is a mess. With they were canceling elections after the wrong guy won because they're the Russians influenced it somehow.
Surprise.
Mm-hmm. What did you say?
Surprise, surprise.
Thank you for saying that louder.
Whenever they cancel gymnastics, then we'll know there's a real problem.
Oh, well, we'll see what comes of this. But it might be nothing will come of nothing. If I could sneak some Shakespeare in there. Let's go to line 3. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, Joey.
Hey,
Loving the show. And I don't much want to rebuff other callers because we all got our opinions. But I will say, I did see the same thing on TV. Our president and Zelensky, president of Ukraine, and it did look that contentious. And now, it may be just me being an old white man or what have you, but I'm like, why did Europe do it all on a loan and we did it all in grants? And then I think a few weeks ago, I saw Zelensky say, we don't even know where $100 billion of it is at. But I don't mean to hit against somebody, but I'm just saying, look, we can quit killing people if Russia takes some minerals and we take some minerals and we just all get along. And Zelensky thinks he's got a leg to stand on when Donald Trump's right. If you don't move fast, you ain't going to have a country to stand on because you're not in NATO. America is not going to send no more money. And that's it, baby.
Well,
you know what I mean?
No, it's pretty straightforward.
And,
Well, I appreciate
I hate
it,
to be
Robert.
harsh.
No, you're good, man. Appreciate the
See you,
call.
bud.
Yeah, I'm seeing more from Jackie Heinrich at Fox News. Stuff we just said. Trump kicked out Zelensky, did not walk off on his own. Rare minerals deal was not signed. White House says Ukrainians were begging to reset, but Rubio and Waltz, Secretary of State Rubio, National Security Advisor Waltz, informed them Zelensky needs to leave White House grounds, return when he's ready for peace. The president and U.S. officials felt disrespected by Zelensky's rhetoric and demeanor, cited that he was, quote, shrugging and rolling his eyes during the conversation. Then Jackie Heinrich adds a little flourish here. It's not a big deal, but it's the little details sometimes that matter. When I went to upper press to ask what was going on, the lunch that Trump and Zelensky were supposed to dine on and talk over was sitting in the hallway. I'm told White House press office staffers will be eating it.
I hope they requested he put on a suit and tie.
That'd be a big. Now, if he comes back with a suit and tie on, that would be a.
I mean, what were you going to negotiate peace over? Like mac and cheese?
I don't know.
Yeah, what do you
Maybe a
eat
good
in a
chicken
situation like that? Chicken parm, that's
Maybe a
too
good
much.
chicken
That's
parm.
too
Yeah,
heavy.
too heavy?
Yeah, like at least mac and cheese, you can kind of do discrete bites. With the chicken parm, you got to cut it.
Yeah,
There's
it's
sauce
true, too.
all over.
Yeah.
Trying to think. I
Well,
mean,
hold on. This is Donald Trump. It's McDonald's.
shake and bake?
It's probably McDonald's. It's Donald Trump. Big Mac, a quarter pound of cheese. What you
Oh,
want?
yeah, you're right. It's
maybe a fillet of
Mickey
fish
D's.
if you feel like stepping out a little
I
bit.
was trying to come up with something Russian, but their food's so horrible I couldn't come up with anything.
Caviar.
Do you like caviar?
Yes.
Do you like
I've only tried like expensive caviar once, and yes, I like it. I think it's great. Now, if you get like the
Yeah, I've never really had, but some.
I've only had
that
the
I'd probably
nice
supposed
stuff
to
once.
eat, so,
Dude,
yeah.
going to sushi, like I'll get the smelt, the roe.
Yeah,
like,
oh,
all
that's
that.
good.
I'm you give me fish.
Yeah, I like
that's so
fish.
good.
I like ocean. I don't mind the briny. I don't mind the real salty. I think
Sardines?
that's all great. Sardines are okay. I'll eat them, but they're not my favorite thing in the world. But they don't like anchovies don't bother me that much. All that stuff, I can eat it.
I gotta give sardines to Roxy, eat her food, and some days are harder than others to open a can of sardines.
Oh, the
I gotta be
stank
honest.
is a very real thing.
Some days are hard.
It really is. The stank is quite real. So, man, what a news day. And I'm sure we're going to get more coming out. But I want to do a little palate cleanser because yesterday we got arguing about in like a post-scarcity world where the robots are running everything.
Yeah.
Or Robux, as your
Robux,
friend would say.
yes. Robert would call them Robux.
Like Eddie really was having a tough time. I think I want to boil it down to what job. It's a post-scarcity world.
Okay.
What do you want to do?
Nothing.
What does that mean?
I don't want to have to do anything. Nobody else is working. I'll be.
You
damned.
don't
I'm the
have
guy
to do
working.
anything, but with your free time, like you can do anything you want, anything in the world. What would you want to do?
I'd probably, honestly, sounds crazy. I'd start exploring again. Get my drone, get my bike. And, yeah.
No, that's a
That's
great
what I would do.
idea. I think that's a great idea. Go see the world. Be in nature.
Yeah.
There's parts of this
That's what I love
country
to
I would love to just go spend time in.
Me
Like
too.
it's truly is. Especially the older I get, there's part of me when I see like the stories of Teddy Roosevelt with John Muir and they get lost in the woods together. I'm like, this is true American. Like it's beautiful. It's myth making in the moment.
You're not a real American unless you've been lost in the woods before.
Right. There's and especially that part of the country. Well, I mean, I think Alabama forests are quite beautiful to get lost in.
Absolutely beautiful.
We have beautiful landscapes, and like we are the Amazon, I think, of North America
agree.
with the biodiversity. But when you get more west and you start seeing those mountains and then the different way the
Start
rivers
calling
cut
you.
through rock and stuff, that's a pretty crazy
Start hearing
spot
the
too.
bush beer
I want to
commercials.
wake up, go camping and wake up in the Painted Desert. That's one
Painted
of
Desert is beautiful.
my bucket list.
It is absolutely beautiful.
Well, Eddie, I'm glad you had an answer because here was my suggestion. This came across my feed, and
All
somebody
right.
says, I don't know what this is, but I'm here for it. And what I'll have to do for those just listening, we'll play it. You might recognize the song. Can we describe for folks who are just listening what we're watching here?
We're watching a parade of geese.
Yeah, and somebody up front has the xylophone.
Yeah, he would be the parade leader.
I'm watching 1.5 assumed child predators parade a bunch of geese around dressed up as
Yeah, he
some
does look
sort
kind
of.
of. I gotta be honest, that's a creepy.
Some sort of.
But you wouldn't want to parade geese around like that?
No, that's like a toy. No.
I mean, it seems like a pretty useless job. Like, we don't need it to make money, but the geese seem happy.
I'm not a big goose fan.
I bet they are.
They come in my yard, they make messes. I'm not a fan.
The things people choose to do with their lives.
Right, so somebody's paying him.
Yeah. No, I'm wondering, like, how did you, what are you doing with your life? Well, I paraded geese through the French Quarter.
Hold on. One of these guys had the idea and pitched it to the other guy.
Right.
And got him
Well,
to
dude,
buy
you gotta write that on a credit app too at some point.
Well, it probably started with, like, have you ever seen how geese, like, just naturally kind of march in unison?
Follow you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They literally goose step.
These guys didn't have any friends and they really wanted a parade, so they went and got a bunch of geese.
It's just, you know.
I was trying to think of options for you.
That's one, but
You don't know how to play the xylophone.
Nah, and plus I'm not a big fan of geese.
You don't like costumes either, do you?
Not so much. One time, yeah, but I don't like to dress up.
What
every
if
day.
you like could be in a flock of seagulls lip syncing band?
That'd be tough to say no to.
See, I know this guy well.
It's very tough to say no to. You setting a trap for Eddie Bader? Is that
Yeah.
what you're doing?
Yeah. Yep. No, I want you to live out that childhood dream and having that haircut before you can't grow it anymore. Like, grow it out, get that whole like slick down and up.
So cool. So cool.
Let's go to line one. You're on the air. Who's this?
Hey, it's Cranky.
Hey, Cranky.
Yeah, you were showing, you were watching the video from the Peabody Hotel in Memphis.
Is that where that was
Nah,
at?
that don't look like
No,
the Peabody.
I don't think that's a
I've
Peabody.
been to
That
the
looks,
Peabody. That's not the Peabody.
They have a bunch of ducks, while these were standard yard geese.
This has got to be Europe somewhere, man.
Somebody was knocking off on the Peabody. They're the ones that started that.
With the geese marching?
Yeah, they had the ducks marching.
I'm
What's
calling
up
Europe.
with you guys hating the geese in the ducks?
Say what?
Say that again.
What's up with you guys hating the geese and the ducks?
No, I think it's hilarious. That's why I suggested it.
I'm not a fan of the geese because
It's beautiful. I've got
they mess up your yard.
two geese and 8 ducks that I feed a couple of miles away from the house every day. I just went to the feed store earlier today and got a bag of 5-way scratch to throw out for them. They love it. They love me.
Yeah, but
And when-
it's miles away from the house.
Miles away from
you
your
don't want
place.
those like right on your property.
Right.
Oh no, man! They don't. Hey, listen, they don't poop any more than my meth head neighbors do. At least these ducks and geese are friendly, and when they smile, you can see their teeth. So
That's true too.
Really a win situation.
That's a strong case for geese.
I didn't see the video, so Trump said, "Get the hell out of here! You're fired today." Is that what he said to Zelensky?
Oh yeah, they got in a big old fight in the Oval Office in front of like the whole press pool, and the fight was tense for about 8 minutes.
Yeah.
And Trump eventually would just cut him off, even like put his hand on his shoulder and kind of did the quiet
Power
thing,
move.
and woo.
Push.
Well, this man does not own a suit. He does not own a tie. And he struts into the UN and everything else just wearing regular street clothes.
Tracksuit, baby.
I dress up better than that, and I go to Walmart, and I don't even go to Walmart. So
Well, Trump in the meeting, Cranky, literally said, "Do you own a suit? Do you own a suit?" And Zelensky said, "I would wear a costume when the war is over."
I think he needs to put his butt in
really say
costume.
that. Is that a joke, or did that conversation really?
That really
happened.
took place.
That's what happened.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, listen, let me tell you something. They need to take that guy out before he gets off the ground in D.C. They need to take him out. He's, he is a dictator.
He is.
He's way overdue for an election, and he's got a 4% approval rating. He wants the war to keep going on so he can keep power. And he wants that war to keep going on so people keep throwing him money. Oh, it's over. He signed his death warrant today, didn't he?
Yeah, they said come back when you actually want peace,
Yeah, when you
because
want peace.
apparently even the stuff we didn't see, he was like shrugging, rolling his eyes,
Yeah.
like he did not want to. He still thought, oh, Biden's in charge, or whoever was controlling Biden's in charge.
Well, now, has he talked with Trump before? Have they met before?
Oh yeah, well, and think
Like 2
back
weeks
to
ago, huh?
Trump's
Last time they got together.
first impeachment was the perfect phone call.
Oh yes, I forgot all about that.
Well,
They have a history.
he just forgot. this guy's not senile. Trump's not senile. So
Right.
just because he's a little bit older, he's just more cagey and more wise, and he knows what's what now. They really everybody way underestimated him.
Well, and at one point, Trump said, "You're gambling with World War III. You don't tell us how to feel. You're gambling with World War III." And Obama gave you sheets. I gave you javelins.
Yeah,
I gave you javelins, and it's like it got heated.
Well, he really doesn't. Must not care. I don't know. Do you think he's maybe on drugs or something? You think he's hopped up on something? That activity you were talking about sounds like he might have been hopped up, messed up or something.
I don't know. I think he doesn't know what to do.
I think he was desperate.
Yeah, I think he is in a truly desperate place.
I know. What he needs to do is he needs to go die. That's what he needs to do. He's already murdered enough people. So it's time for him to die.
Maybe he could lead a parade of geese. That's his future.
Well, I tell you what,
A better future.
geese are smart enough not to follow him. They're not dumbasses. Geese will say, "Quack, no thanks. Aflac, going to Columbus, Georgia."
But I have bread.
You have the bread?
Y'all have a good weekend. I'm gonna sit back and watch that over and over and over again. Get out of my White House.
Oh, you'll love it.
Appreciate it, Cranky.
Weekend.
You too. Again, 272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services.
Ooh, Joey. You know how we talk about Pest Pro Services and their Players of the Week?
Yeah.
Well, they have announced them.
Okay.
I'm going to pull them up here on my Facebook. Give me just a second.
Yeah, and this is something they do every week. And if you want to spotlight a great local athlete, whether it's a great performance or they've shown just great leadership, teamwork, sportsmanship, these sorts of things, just directly message Pest Pro Services on Facebook, and they will pick from those nominations who they would like to highlight as the player of the week.
I'm sorry it's taking so long. Eddie's not having good luck with his phone right this second. Here they go. All right, so we got two players. We have Tyler Woodham. It looks like he plays baseball for Stanhope Elmore High School. And then we also have Emily Needham. She plays for St. James. She plays softball for St. James. Both of these guys are Pest Pro's Players of the Week.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, y'all keep sending in those nominations, and congratulations to those two.
Both of them are pitchers, and I got a feeling that Emily could strike us both out. I got to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
I got to be honest.
I know the softball's a little bigger, but that underhanded throw's hard to read. You don't know when the delivery's really coming.
What is it, like 30 feet shorter?
Yeah. And it just, I think they could both strike us out.
Yeah, I think so.
So, of course, Pest Pro also is a great pest control company.
Oh, yeah.
Truly skilled professionals, but also, as we're just saying, great local folks. And with termite season right around the corner, if not already happening.
Oh, it could be happening. That's right.
Or mosquito season right around, or it could already be happening. I saw leaving the garage today, like the wasp are coming in around the threshold.
Oh.
I'm like, oh no!
They found you, Joey.
The enemies are back. They remember.
Yep.
They remember where I stay. So Pest Pro Services, call them up today. It's really just a quick phone call. I mean, you can make an appointment online at ppsriverregion.com, but call them at 265-9990. That's 265-9990. When you want to know, call a pro. Pest Pro Services, and be sure to tell Ashley and that great team that Joey and Eddie, those fellas on the radio, sent you. We'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Before you buy new floors at a discount store and get them installed by the cousin of a friend who does this kind of thing, consider the better option. Prattville Carpet carries the most reputable brands for selection, style, and quality you can trust. And with their non-transferable lifetime installation warranty, you'll never have to worry about hardwood warping or carpet buckling. Your floors will stay as beautiful as the day they installed them.
Hi, I'm Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. If you're looking for carpet, hardwood, laminate, vinyl plank, or ceramic tile, call us today for your free measurement. Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
This is your roving reporter, and today I am talking with an elk. Hey man. Mr. Elk, I was just wondering, what do elk do to take care of their money?
Well, like most smart folks, we call David Erdit.
You mean Alabama's most favorite asset preservationist?
That's him, man. We call him up at 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839.
I see.
Yes, he is our preferred money man.
The money man with the money plan.
You've been paying attention.
Well, could you give us those numbers one more time?
334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. And I just want to try to give you a heads up, man.
Oh, what's that?
I'm not an elk.
Not an elk, huh? Well, then, pray tell, what are you?
Knights of Columbus.
I am not even going to make a comment.
Well, the baby liked it.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values. This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Hello, everyone. Robbie Pelt with Capital City Roofing. If you think about it, your home is your biggest investment in life. Your roof covers your home, so why jeopardize your biggest investment on a roofer you don't know anything about when you can deal with a reputable roofing company like Capital City Roofing? We have an A-plus better business rating and the best manufacturers and workmanship warranties available. We do all residential and commercial roofing applications that are certified through the manufacturer to ensure you get the best material and workmanship money can buy. We also have your project in our best interest before and after construction has been done. Don't hesitate to call us if you have any roofing issues or questions. We will match any of our competitors' price and give you the same great workmanship warranty. We also give free estimates. Give us a call today and let us show you the difference. 277-3311. That's 277-3311. Or you can check us out on the web at www.capitalcityroofing.com. Capital City Roofing. We capitalize the roofing industry.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From little fender benders to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For 4 decades, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Just a great forecast on this first weekend of March with sunshine today, high temperature up to about 71 as February ends. Clear skies tonight, overnight low 45. Lots of sunshine and really nice weather with a high temperature up to about 74 Saturday. A little cooler Sunday with a high around 63. Slight chance of showers Monday with highs in the mid-60s. Then a potential severe weather system coming in by Tuesday night into Wednesday. We've got our eyes on it. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Budget Floors and More is your low price leader for everything you need for flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies. For the best prices on luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, flooring installation supplies, and more, shop Budget Floors and More, Hunter Lane across from Delray to Publix.
News and talk without the static. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Got a lot of calls rolling in, which is just fine by me. Let's go right to the phones and talk to DJ CJ. How you doing today?
I'm doing all right, man. How about yourself?
All right.
Man, I wanted to call in yesterday, but ended up getting tied up with work. I don't know what you said. I didn't think you guys actually had any liberal listeners, but that loon was out of his mind.
TDS is a real thing, and I just want, at this point, I wonder, like, where he gets his information.
Yeah, you should have told him that Coast to Coast is in the morning time is the wrong show to call in on. Yeah, I just wanted to call in and weigh in on you guys. I'm willing to bet I'm probably your guys' youngest listener.
How old are you?
23.
I'm 32.
32? No, that's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Only was a few classes behind you at Catholic. I went to Catholic as well.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. How did you start listening? How'd you find us?
Well, I drive semi-trucks, and I had to drive someone else's semi-truck that didn't have any Bluetooth radio or anything, so I was just listening to terrestrial radio and found you guys, and then found out that you were in my age group, and I was like, well, dang, man, that's cool that there's people out here my age still talking about this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I was kind of worried everyone my age went woke.
And I've been hoping for a while because I was always just the young pup talking to old graybeards, and I've been hoping that folks around my age will start tuning in. So you made me very happy with this call.
Hey, very good. I'm sure they're out there listening, but, just kind of like working jobs like I do where it's real hectic and,
Now,
don't
do you
really
think
get too much
women
time.
my age listen?
Ooh, I don't know. That's a loaded question.
We
right
say
there,
that, but we
You
do
could
get a
be
lot of
hopeful.
women calls. So I got to figure there's some in the younger age group that are riding around with their grandma, so they do listen.
He answered that with ooh.
Yeah, hopefully they are listening and don't have their iPod in their ears or something.
Right.
Well, I appreciate you
How
listening.
How do you guys feel about them releasing the JFK files versus the Epstein files?
Well, right now I'm not so impressed with the Epstein file, so I'm kind of nervous of what's going to happen. Are we really going to get anything, or are we just going to get a big nothing?
I'd rather see Epstein than the older stuff, but Congresswoman Luna is saying that they're working to have that just JFK, MLK, RFK, just right on the National Archives. No, like handed out to people, just put it online.
Put it out there.
Yeah, I hope we actually get them. If
Me too.
The JFK files come out and they turn out to be some kind of tomfoolery was about, I'm not going to really be too surprised, but that Epstein list is going to put a lot of people that are still alive and scared of pants.
Yeah, and I think that's what the internet in particular wants to see. And
Yep.
This little move by Pam Bondi, like, oh, it'll come out tomorrow, they're acting like, oh, I was duped. I'm like, I think you got caught duping other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, all right, you guys, I got to head out. Appreciate you guys having me. You guys have a good one. Enjoy your weekend.
You too.
You too. Good call. Let's go to Papa B. Papa B.
So it kind of doesn't surprise me that they haven't, just gone ahead and released the Epstein files. I suspect that there's some negotiations in the background still. Who gets to stay anonymous, maybe making some deals. It wouldn't surprise me if that's also happening. But I think we're going to get a pretty fulsome list of. But what is it going to tell us? I mean, who flew on the plane? I mean, are they going to get into the?
No, it's not. It's
details?
no. We're not talking about flight logs. A lot of that stuff. What was in that binder yesterday had already been public.
Right.
What they're looking for is the actual evidence that developed the case against Maxwell.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Well, we're going to get into some stuff then.
Right, and it seems
And
like
so-
it's the Southern District of New York who's defying the Attorney General and the FBI director at this point. I did
They don't
see.
want it released.
I did see that Maxwell filed an appeal to the Supreme Court, so they might be like, well, it's a pending appeal and we can't release the underlying evidence of a case.
Yeah. Nah, that ain't gonna work. But anyway, yeah. Who's hollering to keep it secret will tell you a lot.
Oh yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
About who it is that is really in trouble. Those who scream the loudest about that one.
Yep.
But this Zelensky thing, that was Zelensky you played, arguing with Pence and the president there
Yep,
in
sir.
public. Oh my gosh, this guy—he's looking more and more like a deep state asset to me. I don't. I mean, the very idea. How many people have been? How many Ukrainian kids have been killed now? 600,000 was it, or was it more? I don't know.
I don't know. I know he doesn't seem to care.
He doesn't seem to care at all.
Mm-mm.
And the idea that he's not going to have elections and all that kind of stuff. Well,
Right.
he's arguing to keep the war going, so that sounds like he's making the case for, the military-industrial complex, such as it is.
I'm
trying to.
I think you're right.
Go ahead.
But I gotta.
I'm trying to.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I
No,
gotta
you
pause
go
you
ahead.
there because who do you think is like the face of the military industrial complex? Like if you had to pick a
Lindsey Graham.
Lindsey Graham, it would be Lindsey Graham.
Good call.
Get a load of this. I don't know what the deal is if Trump has him by the you know what. This is Lindsey Graham moments ago, folks.
Oh,
I can't believe this. This is let's all listen in together.
President Trump I talked to last night, he was upbeat about the deal. I've never been more proud of President Trump for showing the American people in the world you don't trifle with this man. He was very positive. He was very upbeat. He wanted to get a ceasefire. He wants to end the war. And Zelensky felt like he needed to bait Trump in the Oval Office. JD was awesome. This was a missed opportunity. And the question for me, for the Ukrainian people, I don't know if Zelensky can ever get you to where you want to go with the United States. Either he dramatically changes or you need to get somebody new.
Man, talk about a changing of tune right there.
Hey, let me tell you something, Joey. You know, my dad was a veterinarian, right? Okay. So we used to have this little device called a twitch. Have you ever heard of a twitch?
No.
Okay. So what you do is like a little short stick, and it's got a rope, looped through the end of one end. And we used it to stabilize the horses while they were being worked on, hooves and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
And what you did is you got the end of horse's nose, his muzzle, and you put it in this thing and you twitched it up. You twisted it up to where that horse was caught by this twitch. He wasn't going anywhere. He wasn't going to do anything except what you told him to do type thing. I think that's what has happened to Lindsey. He's got a twitch on him in some other areas
that might explain why he looks a little puffy.
Yeah, he
and
does
big
look
nostril.
swole, yeah.
Somebody's got a twitch on that guy.
I believe you're right.
I mean, so I'm running through the calculations of what, the Democrats, the Rhino, the Deep State, AKA all of that, were thinking when they started this, Ukraine venture. So, obviously I think that they wanted World War III. Okay. That does just all kinds of good for them to stabilize and further, implement the Woodrow Wilson, FDR, the, big government state, both here and abroad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But short of that, at least, let's have a regional conflict using Ukraine as a proxy war, which in their Luciferian minds would say, oh, well, that's good because it's going to bleed Russia and it's going to expose Russian assets so that we'll know what they have just in case we need to know type thing. And so, just all kind of bad things going on here in my mind. But I think that's kind of their silly way of thinking. The hell with with the kids that are going to bleed and die on the battlefield if they even bleed, probably just blow up. We don't care about that. We care about increasing our power, our government, our blah 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 blah.
Yep. Well,
that's what I think about it.
Well, and this is why I love not only. This is what I've been shocked by, and even with like libertarian friends of mine who can't stand Trump and Musk or, so-called lefties. It's like this guy is trying to go for peace. And maybe you don't believe him, but I've not heard a president in my lifetime talk this way. It's beautiful.
Right. It is. And the idea that he's willing to use the Ronald Reagan model is even more endearing to me.
Yeah.
It's like, look, we don't want to blow you up, but we will if you just make us. So it's best for you to come on to the table now. The Zelensky thing, golly, I'm wondering why they even let him in the Oval Office. He's not in the middle of the negotiation. He just needs to be marginalized and handcuffed and dragged away. It needs to be like a big old hook from a theater, one of those old theaters. Just reach out there and grab him and drag him off.
And we actually have a new statement. Zelensky thanks America and Trump for support after clash in White House.
I bet you do.
Yeah.
And all the billions of dollars that I've got, by the way. Thank you. That I've got stored away in Europe so I can go leave the country whenever everything falls apart and go live somewhere else.
Well, I got to hit a break here. Appreciate it, man. 272-9228. Yeah, and for Lindsey Graham to be like, I don't know, we can do business together anymore.
Well, you stepped out during the break, and I was like, telling Eddie, I was like, oh man, I got to show Joey this. Before the meeting, there was a picture of Lindsey Graham and Zelensky all hugged up together.
Yep.
Yeah, so that was perfect. That was perfect, man.
My goodness. Yeah. That guy's got a switch on. Or twitch on him, excuse me.
And a switch.
And a switch,
Yeah. Well, I kind of like a switch. Anyway, this entire hour brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. And there at Alabama Home Mortgage, Kim Williams, Madeline Cannon are ready to help you with buying a home.
Mm-hmm.
Could be you're waiting for the right time to buy. Well, might as well jump in. The water's fine.
Yes,
and it all starts with pre-approval. And they'll walk with you every step of the way, all the way to closing day. And of course, they're doing refinance deals. So if you're still stuck under a mountain of credit card debt and need to restructure your finances, have equity built up in your home, Kim and Madeline are ready to help you out. And this includes veterans. They know the latest in the VA home loan programs. And if you're a veteran who hasn't taken advantage of your benefits that you earned through your service, then you're leaving money on the table, because whether it's a refinance or you're purchasing a home, it's the best deal in the market by far. And what I love is how quickly they can turn this around. Say a refinance deal. You said they did one recently in 12 days?
12 days.
The average is something like 16 days?
Yeah.
It's amazing. Like 2 weeks, just getting a little done with Kim and Madeline guiding you, and you've got a better footing.
Yeah.
Get that relief. So call them up today. Start that conversation. Start that process at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or you can always visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies like Kim and Madeline. Prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
For reliable electrical services in Central Alabama, trust the experts at Crosby Electric. Crosby's licensed and insured electricians are ready to tackle any project for your home, from troubleshooting, repairs, to installing new lighting and preventive maintenance. And Crosby understands the need for quality service for small business. Crosby is big enough for the largest job, yet small enough to bring real value. Visit CrosbyElectric.com to schedule your service. Crosby, powering Central Alabama with excellence.
Is your business feeling the heat of cyber attacks? Tired of worrying about ransomware, data breaches, downtime, and employee mistakes? GTI Managed IT Solutions has been your trusted partner since 1999, safeguarding and supporting businesses like yours from the ever-evolving threats in the digital world. GTI, your peace of mind is guaranteed. Call us today at 819-4650 or visit gtinow.com.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
The River Region's first and only News Talk station on FM. Live, local talk. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones. It's that time to talk to Michael Cohen with Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Hey, Michael, how you doing today, sir?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Oh, we're doing great. Quite a news day here with all the Trump-Zelensky fallout.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Oh, they got in a big old fight in the middle of the Oval Office. Like where Trump literally started saying, you're gambling with World War III. Like, and then like pushing them, like touching them, like the power move stuff. It was something.
Hey, as opposed to having an envelope.
Yep. I think that's what he was expecting.
I'm sure he was. You're like, look, I just came here to get the check.
Exactly.
Let me go.
So how's it going there today, Cohen?
Yeah, it's been a good day. We've been busy. Lots of appliances have been sold. Michael Jackson's running like usual. I was back in the warehouse, and I found some Sonos speakers. Sonos makes a really cool little speaker. It's a Sonos. It's called a Roam, and it's kind of in a triangular shape. It's probably about a little shorter than a Yeti tumbler would be. But anyway, you can charge it with USB. You can put it on your Sonos system if you have one of those in your home, or you can just use it to Bluetooth to your phone, and you can stream music. So you could put it in your gym bag. You could take it to the beach, the lake. It's battery operated as well as it plugs in. So, but anyway, it sells for like $189, and I've got some in black and I've got some in white, and you can buy them for $119.99.
Oh, that's
all right.
pretty great right there.
That's a pretty good deal. Yeah.
So, folks, if you're looking for...
That'd be kind of cool for realtors to have in their homes while they're showing the customer.
That would be. That would be. Good idea, Michael. I got to remember that.
Yeah, but don't be playing Flight of the Valkyries. That's just going to...
That's my entrance. That's my entrance music, man.
Okay. You and Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
So, folks, y'all get by there. That's a great deal. If you need a brand new, fantastic speaker, get by there. And, of course, all the electronics and appliances there at Cohen's. You can always shop from home. Look online at thinkcohens.com. But I really encourage you to stop by. Go see Michael and the team there at 2515 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery. They're open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 on Saturdays. And be sure to find Michael and be like, hey, I heard you on that radio show with Joey and Eddie.
That's right. Y'all come see us. Let us help you make the right choice for whatever your needs are, whether they're appliances or electronics. Have a good and safe weekend.
You too, Michael.
Have
See
a
you,
good
brother.
one. Let's go to Crawdad.
All right.
Hey, Crawdad.
They're listening to Great Gates of Kiev on the radio. Okay. No, I thought my phone was broken. They were doing weird things, so I had to want to ask a question. When will Elando be back in? When will he be back to visit?
Zelensky?
No. Elizondo.
Oh, Lou Elizondo. I don't know.
Yeah.
We don't have anything planned for now, but I kind of wanted to give it a little breathing room because he's a big guest and he's on a lot of different shows, and we've had him on twice pretty quickly. So, but maybe in a few months, I would love to have him back. That guy's
I'd love
great.
to have him back.
That'll be great. Because I wanted to ask him about if he knew of EE and G, if they were still doing anything or have changed the name. But that's very important because EE&G was doing a lot of work with understanding how magnetic fields and gravitation fields work. I think it might got somewhere. So I was going to ask Elizondo if he had knew that the EE&G, if they were still around or just changed names, So anyway, I'll be looking forward to him coming back to visit you and be keeping the ear out.
Appreciate it, Crawdad, as always.
Thank you, Crawdaddy.
File that one away.
We'll definitely announce that if we put that out. And we got to hit our top of the hour break. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Jason Walker. A wild and woolly afternoon at the White House, perhaps never seen before and certainly not aired on live TV until now. In an unbelievable exchange between world leaders captured by the media, President Trump and Volodymyr Zelensky began to argue as Ukraine's president sought security guarantees to end the war with Russia. At one point, Vice President J.D. Vance told Zelensky he was being very disrespectful, and President Trump accused his counterpart then of gambling with World War III. Meanwhile, we have learned that President Trump later told the Ukrainian leader to leave the White House, but could come back at a later date if he was ready to sit down and talk sensibly and talk about peace. And obviously that agreement on rare earth minerals that was to have been signed today was not. This is SRN News.
For many out on the streets with no address, when the hope dies, it's hard to be found.
You get these people off our streets now.
It's not that simple. They're human beings. Where are they meant to go?
Homelessness could happen to anyone.
I don't know how much longer I can do this.
Their story is our story.
You never know in life why things work out the way they do. Never give up.
No Address, starring William Baldwin, Ashanti, and Ty Pennington. Now playing. Get your tickets at noaddressmovie.com.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that is MediShare. Maybe you've heard joining MediShare can save families up to $500 a month, and obviously that's a big deal, but they like it too, especially being part of something that reflects their values instead of working against them. So yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. Find out more. Call 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34.
Rich Thomas weather brought to you by Clark Heating, Air, and Plumbing.
Hey, this is Robbie Clark. Spring is almost here. Stay cool with a spring tune-up with Clark Heating, Air, and Plumbing. Don't wait. Schedule today. Give us a call at 334-277-2125. Alabama certification number 09098.
Rich Thomas weather.
Just a great forecast on this first weekend of March with sunshine today, high temperature up to about 71 as February ends. Clear skies tonight, overnight low 45. Lots of sunshine and really nice weather with a high temperature up to about 74 Saturday. A little cooler Sunday with a high around 63. Slight chance of showers Monday with highs in the mid-60s. Then a potential severe weather system coming in by Tuesday night into Wednesday. We've got our eyes on it. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
CB&S Bank has a long history of stability and a legacy of serving our community's needs for generations since we began in 1906. At CB&S Bank, we're here for you. All loans subject to credit approval, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
1819 News.
An immigration lawyer is talking about illegal aliens here in the U.S. and what that effect is having on those who are seeking to come here legally. Sue Ann Balch has been working as an immigration lawyer for 20 years. Balch says the issues with illegal aliens started under the second Obama administration when paperwork for these illegal aliens overwhelmed the process of doing legal applications to come to the U.S. Balch says that illegal alien influx has taken time and attention away from the proper process for legal immigration. And Balch also says what makes the situation even worse is that the illegals are taking away the jobs usually filled by those coming into the country on a work visa. Balch says this is all a mess and law and order needs to be enforced. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Where I was living was not a great place to live anymore. I began to pray for a place to go, praying for all of these things that a 9-year-old would want. I wanted horses, big house with a bunch of people my age. I wanted parents. I wanted a mom and a dad. Before I even prayed it, the Lord had already answered my prayer with the Big Oak Ranch. Who would that 9-year-old be if she never came to the Big Oak Ranch? I would be trying to fight for survival instead of fighting to break a cycle.
Big Oak Ranch, a Christian home for children needing a chance.
A Boaz man is being charged for attempting to entice a child for immoral purposes. 66-year-old Roy Ramirez was arrested by Albertville police this past Thursday. The juvenile victim revealed that the incident occurred last September, with Ramirez offering the victim candy in exchange for a sex act. That situation was interrupted by another witness. In Chilton County, an arrest was made of Juan Carlos Marcial Dominguez related to human trafficking. Deputies were performing a welfare check in Jemison when they encountered the victim, who revealed that her boyfriend had forced her into prostitution. Dominguez tried to flee on foot from police but was quickly apprehended. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 special. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times. And please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. News and views in the afternoon, or as we call this show online, Joey Clark Live. Yeah, as we were playing all those clips, especially that fight in the Oval Office, you could watch it with us online. Joey Clark Live on YouTube or at the Joey Clark on X. And you can watch on Facebook too. I'm just trying to work on Facebook. That's a whole other thing. But man, this day is flying by, gentlemen. Both Eddie Bader and Byron Sheehy here in the studio. You know, J.D. Vance, he helped open up and gave a keynote speech. I think it was the Catholic National Prayer Breakfast or something like that. And so this, you know, seeing Vance and him being feisty in the Oval. But I like this message. Again, it's a message I thought more people would resonate with. But some of y'all have been trained to just hate the Russians.
Oh. Say, my friends, that it's not enough simply to protect the rights of conscience, to pursue funding opportunities and grant-making opportunities that protect the rights of people to engage in religious conscience. We also have to remember that oftentimes the biggest impediments to religious liberty have not come through malice from the United States government, but have actually come through carelessness. And one of the things that I have to be honest, that I am most ashamed about, is that in the United States of America, sometimes it is our foreign misadventures that lead to the eradication of historical Christian communities all over the world. And so when President Trump talks about the need to bring peace, whether it's in Russia and Ukraine, whether it's in the Middle East, we of course have to recognize that as a policy oriented towards saving lives and carrying out one of Christ's most important commandments. But I think we also must recognize it as an effort to protect the religious liberty of Christians. Because over the past 40 years, it has often been historical Christian communities who bear the brunt of failed American foreign policy. And that is, in my view, perhaps the most important way in which Donald Trump has been a defender of Christian rights all over the world, is he has a foreign policy that is oriented towards peace. We have done it already so much in the past 30 days, and I'm proud that we will work for peace all over the world in the remaining 4 years of President Trump's term. And I think that's an important thing.
Yeah, I think it's one of the more refreshing things I've ever seen. And there's a lot of folks commenting online that I share their perspective, saying this is such a breath of fresh air in the sense of how many foreign leaders you see come and go at these little meetings.
Right.
And they're treated like royalty, and they leave with a big old Brinks truck of money.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, for what? What are you actually doing?
Right.
Without almost any respect to the working class in this country, who the entire global economy essentially relies on in many ways. Like, I tend to agree that the reason the Chinese really haven't taken Taiwan yet is they know that would crater a lot of our economy, and that would thus crater them. And when you know, if they can't sell things into our big consumer market, then they're kind of done. And so for Trump and team to see, no, not only do we want to protect the American people, we want to see them as like the most valuable thing in the world. We want these folks to be better. We want our everyday people to flourish. And that's why I think some of the talking points coming from the Doge haters, from the Trump haters, it's a little outdated. Like, when did y'all become the ones defending corrupt institutions? When did y'all become the ones defending the big banks? When did y'all become the ones defending the wars abroad? When did y'all become the ones defending the big lie, this, that, and the other, whatever the flavor of the month was? Like, come on. Y'all really that easy to train like dogs?
Don't tell them. Don't get their way.
I'm saying, like, I want to see everybody better off in this country. And I think the Democrats' path forward is to kind of go, yeah, a lot of the crap we were doing is just wrong. I want to see, I'll put it this way. I want to see somebody like Trump break through with people that have normally been Democrats. Break the sort of Democrat ink in the way Trump broke conservative ink.
Well, I think the Democrats are going to kind of help facilitate that. I think they've kind of broken their own machine, and they're going to need a little bit more time in the wilderness. And I think that's going to do more to allow our country to get back on track than anything else.
Sure.
So don't tell them the secret. Let them keep marching that way.
Let's go to Boomer T. Hey, Boomer T, how you doing?
Man, I'm fine, guys. I'm sitting out here on the porch just getting some suntan. Anyway, look here. Think about this. I would love to see Trump grab him by his collar and grab him by his belt.
He didn't have on a collar, Boomer.
He did have. He got that little T-shirt
that sweatshirt,
collar.
Yeah,
I got a little
collar.
Look here. I can just close your eyes and imagine this. Trump said, I'll tell you what. He grabs him by the collar, grabs him by his little belt loop, and opens up the door and throws him out and says, don't you come back until you learn respect for the United States of America. You know, right now, first thing I can say right now is, man, this guy's got more damn brass balls than I can ever seen. You can tell you something. Trump is the man. I don't give a damn if you like him. I don't care if you don't like him. That's the first time I've ever in my life, I'm 62 years old, I've never seen a president talk to another leader like that because he was disrespecting him in our house, the people's house. So you know what? You don't get no more money there, period. We can't save you. We're not going to save you. We have spent too much money. You just showed your people. Let me tell you something, Lucy. Whatever your heck your name is, ZZ, you just screwed up, brother, because people are going to see what you did back home, and they're going to see that you don't give a rat's turd about them people, that all you are is about you and your money for yourself. So see, the whole world just saw it. So all these countries, if you continue giving this idiot money, you're going to have to deal with the USA. That's the way it's going to have to play. Now, that's the bottom line. Now, second off, I'm having a great day, y'all. I'm not in a bad mood today. But, I do want to have a rant. But, I do want to say one thing. I got some shirts being printed up. And I'm going to ride around this lake, and I got a sign to put on my boat. And it says, K. Ivy hates veterans. Let me tell you something. This is absolutely ridiculous, folks.
Yeah.
This is sad. This is sad. It's bad enough they're trying to hurt people with Medicaid and all that. But, it's ridiculous. So, K. Ivy, no more free ice cream, no more free peanuts. And I'm going to be seeing you. When I see you out there, you're going to know that goddamn Boomer T is tired of you playing around the way you act with the state of Alabama. Now, all I've got to say is, guys, the show is wonderful today. I'm missing Mr. Know-It-All. Today would be a great day.
I love Craig. Don't be talking about Craig when he ain't here to defend himself.
He misses him. I do. He misses him.
Okay. I'm a little feisty. I'm feisty.
I know. I like. Okay, what kind of bow are you, man? How big of a fella are you? Look here. No, I like Craig. Look, if I wouldn't give him the devil, I wouldn't like him, man. He's a good old dude. I have to call him that because I swear to God, I wouldn't. If you know what, him and that with a red top. Whatever happened to him? He knew so much he had to leave town. Guys, y'all have a wonderful day. Keep on keeping on. Trump is the missile, man. How many other people he say, you get out of the White House, kicked him out, and you know what they did? Now, look, could you imagine the road down the road, Swinsky said, I tell you right now, I'm going to pop that son of a gun in the mouth. That little whiz ain't going to pop jack. Keep on trumping. God bless America. Oh, God's a beautiful weekend. Thank you, Lord, for everything you do. God bless you. See you when I see you. Bye.
Bye.
He left out the most important detail. What kind of flavor of ice cream?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah. It's getting about homemade ice cream season coming up here pretty soon.
Yep.
I mean, I tend to be more a chocolate guy.
I'm a peach.
Oh, peach. Like fresh though, like really well done.
Yeah.
I did just get some chocolate peanut butter ice cream. I wanted Bluebell. I didn't have it at the store, so I went with Tillamook. Chocolate peanut butter ice cream. It's got it's just chocolate ice cream. Yeah. It's delicious with just big old chunks of peanut butter swirled in there, and it's fantastic.
That sounds good. Sounds like it's a liberal ice cream.
And then we tried the other day, Bluebell's oatmeal cream pie.
Dude, that was so good.
That is it's amazing. It's so good.
It tasted much like the inside of an oatmeal cream pie.
It's delicious. So good. With that nutmeg and cinnamon too, it was perfect.
It really was.
Yeah, I think my favorite, if I had to be pressed on it, is Bluebell.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%.
There's some Ben and Jerry's, not bad. My half baked's pretty good. They put big old chunks of stuff in there, but Bluebell somehow gets that creamy ice cream, whatever flavor there. It's like a perfect balance.
It's a lot more creamier than ice cream. That's why I like it.
And then, sometimes you break out, you go with the fancy, like Talenti or something like that.
Who?
You ever had the gelato?
Yeah. Me and Susanna made that mistake in...
You didn't like it?
No, in Tennessee, I bought 2 half gallons of this fancy crap.
Because you bought it in Tennessee.
No, it was at a Publix or whatever, but we thought it was going to be this great ice cream. It was crap.
I like the pistachio gelato. That stuff's so good.
We left it for the bears.
For the bears?
Yeah, there's supposed to be bears up there. Didn't see them either. I think the whole thing was a scam.
I saw Rogan. Joe Rogan just put out a clip the other day on Twitter, and it's 2 guys up in a tree hunting. And they're just sitting up there in the tree. And all of a sudden, this cub, well, not cub, but not full grown, kind of that in between adolescent phase, or a black bear, climbs that tree in a second.
Yeah. It don't take much, man.
And it's just
face to face.
Yeah, looking at him, sniffing them, and both the one dude filming it because he's got a GoPro on his bow is laughing, and the other dude's trying not to freak out. Because it's a big enough bear, it could hurt. Yeah. It could kill you pretty easy.
There's only one kind of bear, the kind that will kill you.
Yeah. But how quickly that thing got up that tree?
3 hops. Boop, boop, boop. That's it.
Whoa.
Even if that bear was real cute and small and couldn't kill you, mama bear's right beside it or not far behind, and she'd be mad. Nope.
No, I just can't. What do you do? You're sitting up there in the tree stand, and you're like,
I'm falling.
Usually,
out of that
they're curious, and you just kind of got to blow in their face. But yeah, you don't.
I'm getting a
enjoy the
collarbone from falling on the ground and fucking.
My favorite is still the morons out in Wyoming when they see a buffalo on the side of the road and they think they're going to go pet it like it's somebody's pet, and the buffalo just takes them and tosses them.
Oh, that's
what
so
are
dumb.
you thinking?
It's so dumb.
What are you thinking?
These are not cute, cuddly little things. No.
City folk.
Or
I mean, there is something about baby animal, baby bears are adorable, but it's don't.
You know who loves them more than anybody? Mama bear.
Right. Don't mess with those.
Yeah.
Don't mess with those. And apparently, the worst are polar bears.
Yeah, they'll find you and kill you.
Just
because they're hungry.
It's the stuff of nightmares. That one guy that was in this plexiglass
Dude, I would love to do that. Yeah,
box,
the big ball thing. Yeah,
and that bear smelled him, and it was trying its damnedest to get in.
Yeah,
and that is horrifying. That is a monster of a creature.
They did the same thing with lions, where they put the box out there with the lions,
and
you become a toy, but you are just trapped, man. You're in that box.
Well, and then did you see the one? It was a gorilla enclosure at a zoo, and it was 2 women who were working at the zoo and were trying to lay out food, and somehow they didn't latch.
Uh-oh.
And that gorilla sprints, and luckily one gets behind the door to get away. The other one is behind a tree. And it's the most nerve-wracking 5 minutes to watch, because that gorilla's sniffing and kind of moving around and posturing, and you're like, please get to the door, woman. Please get to the door.
See one of the dude who was jogging on some trail, and all of a sudden this cougar jumps out in front of him, and he literally just has to slow walk it back for about 8 minutes, and this cougar's about from Eddie and me away from each other the whole time. I just knew that dude was just dead.
Yeah, and I've been just filling Gramps in, you want to watch the press conference app, and he's like, sure. And then eventually she's like, can we watch something lighter? So I'm just scrolling on YouTube, and it's some chick who grooms dogs and cats.
Mm-hmm.
And there's something incredibly funny and soothing about, especially the cats. I don't want to groom a cat.
Yeah, look, Joey. I got two. Your choice. You can groom either one.
Those things are. But what's hilarious? Yeah, no, especially your outdoor cats. No, she's like clipping nails and stuff, clipping the claws.
Just shut the door before you start.
No. It's like, cat, that'll hurt.
Well,
if they really want to hurt you, they'll hurt you.
Generally got to start with a bath. You got to bathe that cat.
Oh, right.
Wow.
They don't like that.
There. No.
Well, and the best ones, though, are like the weird cats are like, like it.
There are a few videos where you'll see like a girl in the tub and the cat comes and just gets in the tub with them. You're like,
that's AI, man.
What is it? That's AI. I love that. That's AI.
272-9228. That's 334-272-9228. What do we do to get all these calls?
Talked about cats.
Yeah. Hey, let's go to Thunder's been most patient. Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I tell you what, there was a storm that occurred in Washington, D.C. today, and it happened in the White House.
Mm-hmm.
And the analogy with the twitch is hilarious. If you've ever seen a farrier take a twitch out and a horse's eyes go rolling at that thing because he knows what's fixing to happen to him, it is rather amazing. But I actually want to go back to Zelensky.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, he never took any business classes or MBA level business classes, I should say, because he would have learned what the Peter Principle is. And the Peter Principle says that a person is promoted above and beyond their level of competence. And that man was promoted above and beyond his level of competence quite some time ago.
You're 100% on the money right there. And I think he doesn't know what to do now that the puppets that he had, and like he doesn't.
He was a stooge.
Yeah.
He has no idea as to how to get himself out of this situation other than to attempt to be a bully. And when he attempted to be a bully to somebody who has been living in Washington and New York City all of their lives and dealing with the crap on New York streets, that was an instant recipe for a failure.
Wasn't dealing with Governor Trudeau over there, was he?
No. He should have taken a lesson from Trudeau. And as far as the man looking like an idiot every time he gets on television, if nothing else, he ought to be embarrassed. He ought to be ashamed of himself for looking like that. There is no excuse in dressing so inappropriately and so lacking in personal perspective. When you set yourself up for failure, as he has done, and you dress for failure, as he does every day, that's exactly what you can expect.
Well, we have some breaking.
What he deserves.
Yes, ma'am, and we have some breaking news here. Ukrainian member of parliament Alexander Dubinsky just called for an emergency session of Ukraine's parliament to initiate impeachment proceedings against President Zelensky after the Oval Office shouting match. Wow.
Not surprised.
And that's what it's going to have to take. Is Ukraine is going to have to take the necessary steps to get rid of this idiot. They're the only ones who can do it, and they just need to step up and do what needs to be done. No other way of putting it.
Right.
The other issue that I want to talk about is Pam Bondi. She needs to stop and remember what happened to Sidney Powell when Sidney Powell bragged about how much information she had on 2020 elections.
Mm-hmm.
You don't say anything. You just get out there, stand up, and do it. The reason that the judge, probably the reason that the judge wants to put a stop to it, is that he knows that there are members of a very elite class that are on that list and that they have evidence of what they have done, and he doesn't want to put any seats in Congress out because they need every Democrat they can get.
Well, hopefully Bondi and especially Patel don't take no for an answer and get into the Southern District of New York and find this stuff.
Yeah.
I'm worried about stuff being destroyed, honestly.
You and me both. I've been hearing, in my mind, I have been hearing shredders run since November the 7th.
Indeed. Well, I appreciate it, Thunder.
That much time to get rid of it. Thanks a lot, guys. Y'all take care.
You too.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend. Again, 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. Oh, look who it is. It's Poison Ivy.
Poison Ivy.
Joey, Eddie, and Byron. I have got a special announcement that High Stepper Cousin wanted me to put out here.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Now, well, you see what happened is we got a whole bunch of filet mignon dinners that, well, we rescinded the Alabama Federation of Republican Women coming. We got all these dinners now. And we wanted to let persons that fell along our own same ideological beliefs having to do with the veterans to be able to come by and get some of these dinners. We got them froze to hand out. And there's a really good acronym for this program that we're going to be instituting to give these dinners out. If y'all got a pen where you can write down the acronym.
Yes, sir.
Here it goes. This is what we're going to call it. It's pretty self-explanatory. If you get this ideology, you come by and get filet mignon.
All right.
Lean, effortless. I'm having trouble saying effortlessly for treating our veterans entirely, representatively suppressed. Leftovers.
That's what it looks like. That's what I'm coming up with here.
Yeah, now, I sure am glad that they can't do to cousin what they're doing with Zelensky over the veteran thing. I'm so proud.
Yeah.
Y'all have a nice day.
Thank you, Poison Ivy.
272-9228.
That was good.
That's 334-272-9228. And just checking 1819 News, they refresh after the top of the hour, and it looks like Tuberville's saying Trump and Vance putting America first in meeting with Ukraine's Zelensky. So I love seeing Tuberville say, thank God for the leadership of President Trump and Vice President Vance. Zelensky is an absolute disgrace. He has happily taken the $220 billion American taxpayer dollars that Joe Biden gave him without showing an ounce of gratitude or delivering any results. We should not send Ukraine another cent.
Whew. Right.
Yeah, I think folks are a little tired of all this.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to Soldier Boy. Hey, Soldier Boy.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. I got two talking points.
Right.
First talking point, you were talking about the bear. Now, I remember Teddy Roosevelt tried to change the bear into the national animal. Remember?
I don't, but I'll take your word on it.
Okay. He tried to change it, but I forgot it was the American eagle. And then, I said to myself, I've seen some grizzly bears. They're impressive. They're strong. They're fierce. And then I went to a, what do you call it? Not a museum, but a zoo. And I saw some bald eagles. Man, I said, man, they picked the right animal to represent the United States, to put on the dollar and put on our coinage. When you see that American eagle, it's just unbelievable. I mean, when it flaps its wing, you don't appreciate it until you're like 5 feet from it.
Yeah, they're remarkable animals.
Unbelievable, I'm impressed by hawks and everything. But then when I see that, I was like, whoa. Second thing is, let's talk about the president today. Do you realize, wait a minute, isn't that president about 6'5", 240, 250? And I'm giving him a little less on his weight. He's a big guy.
I think he's every bit of 6'3".
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he's a big guy. He's thick, okay? He ain't no bodybuilder, but he's thick.
Mm-hmm.
And for him to stand next to that little midget, man, does he realize who he's talking to?
He didn't until he did, and he was kicked out, begging not to be kicked out.
He's a movie actor. He didn't watch The Apprentice when you got the Viper and you're fired. Get out of the office. I mean, I still remember that. I know what happens. I mean, this man cannot even account, like Trump asked him, account for one damn penny that we gave him. How do you lose billions and billions of dollars in a Swiss bank account someplace when the war is over, so him and his cronies can have all this money and people are dying for it? I mean, does he, correct me if I'm wrong, does he have like a 4 or 5% approval rate over there by his people?
4%. Yep.
How is he staying in office? Why would you fight for somebody like that? I mean, I didn't think Joe could be beaten, with his 30, 40%, but less than 5%?
I know, but I think this might be the beginning of the end for this guy.
He may not be president by the time he gets over there.
Do you see when they're standing side by side the size difference? I mean, he might be able to take on what Trump used to say. He might be able to take on Rubio because he's got small hands. I love what he called that in the debate. He's got small hands there, Rubio. Oh, that is the best television when I need to be happy. I watch that debate because, man,
And he hit me on my hands, and he said, "Look at my hands." And
Ted, we know you're the golden boy, and everybody's giving you money, and they think you've already won the race already. He says, "I don't know what your problem is. You need to stay in Florida." Man. He just throws and everybody else that was going to attack him. I think that was the plan to put him out of the race. Man, they were scared to even touch that because he was ripping everybody. Who was it? Ted, he said small hands. Who had low energy?
Jeb. Low energy Jeb.
God, and how much a few years makes a difference? It really is. Like, here's that moment you're talking about. He said. Or I guess not. I guess the audio.
No sound on this one, Joey? You just like to play things without sound now?
No, for some reason it's not playing.
Come on, Joey, make me.
Is that your new hit song I hear there, Joey?
Yeah, it's called Silence.
Yeah. Awesome.
Well, crap! I thought I found it on the fly. Never mind.
Oh man, because that would have made my day. Because, I mean, he wasn't on a jelly roll. He wasn't on a honey roll or a glazed roll. Man, he was on a roll. Everybody else was scared to say anything after that. If you watch the debate, nobody wanted to say, nobody wanted to. And I noticed one thing I liked about Trump. He didn't attack anybody. He's a counterpuncher.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. 100%.
He'll wait for you to, say something, let you swing at him, and then he sees that exposed chest and lungs and body and stomach. And, man, he just pounds the crap out and beats the crap out of you. I mean, if you read his book, I love his book. What was that book of the
Art of the Deal?
Art of the Deal. One whole damn chapter is on one thing. You know what that is? Leverage. Man, he knows how to use leverage. I noticed that Mexico, are they adhering to us now in China?
Well, we'll see. That's ongoing.
They said they're going to. Mexico says they are.
Well, there was cooperation. They extradited like 29
drug
big
dealers.
drug cartel members.
Yep.
Well, I also see there's soldiers on the other side of the border, too, where they weren't there before when Biden was there.
Right.
They were nowhere to be found.
Right.
And I like what that guy reported today. He said some of the cities on the border on the Mexican side, they're all happy about it because life's back to normal. And, and there's no money for the cartels to make any money by smuggling these people over. So they're done doing that. They're on to the next money, throwing dice behind the grocery store or something, whatever money's up, But now they interviewed Hispanic Mexicans on the border, and they said they're finally getting their city back.
Oh, yeah. No, and the flipping of counties that once didn't vote for him in 2016, it's kind of remarkable, the massive red shift we've had. And not just red shift, Trump shift. I appreciate the call, Soldier Boy.
See you, Soldier Boy.
Yeah, what was it he said to Jeb? Jeb is a mess. Jeb is a mistake.
Yeah.
Jeb is a mess. Jeb is a waste. Jeb is a big, fat mistake. Yeah, I think that's one of the lines.
Such a good
and then he did that little, quiet, and then put it...
Yes.
Oh, wow. And then the one moment where Jeb did get in a good line, I was like, Trump made him do low five, and Jeb went for it. He did the low five, and Trump kind of grabbed his hand and held it down there, and it's like, oh my God, these guys have no idea who they're. This dude is a master of persuasion.
Yep.
I don't think people give him enough credit. In fact, we had Joe Reed saying that on Monday, that this guy's really good at it. And I don't think folks.
Really, I wish I would have heard him say that.
Yeah.
Joe's great. We had a good time with Joe. I did.
I mean, he thinks we're wrong about a lot of stuff. We think he's wrong about a lot of stuff.
Other than that, we get along pretty dang good. Yeah.
But hey, having a conversation, two people sitting down, that's where it's got to start.
Honestly, that was the greatest thing. It was really just an open flowing conversation.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I like Joe, but I can get along with a lot of people that other people don't. I can see you other than your politics. I can see you other than your favorite football team. I can see you for the human that you are.
Well, we gotta one, and whoever was helping beta test Madden when it was first coming out, which he was.
Yeah.
For EA Sports.
Don't forget,
it was
that's
some thing he got early on the ground floor. Like he's got a lot of cool stories.
Hold on.
Yeah, Joe Reed.
I got a beef then because.
Uh-oh. Never had a problem until
What,
we
you
brought
don't
up
like
Madden.
Pat Summerall or something?
Madden.
Yeah.
Like 95?
Yeah.
Yeah. We got there's some quirks in that game.
Well, good Lord, man. It was 95. Move on.
Well, you should make a game that all plays don't work all the time. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
Man, if you go back to those old school games, like you got to go for the true arcadey stuff. Like what was it? NFL Blitz?
Blitz was good.
Yeah, where it's like it's not realistic, but it's a lot of fun because it's
Basketball
so ridiculous.
was great. When he's on fire.
NBA Jam.
Yes,
Yeah.
God. NBA Jam.
That was a lot of fun.
He's on fire.
And I always remember being a kid. I'm like, where's Michael Jordan? And like, I didn't understand licensing back then.
The Detroit Lions, Barry Sanders, the backup running back, was faster than he was.
Oh, wow.
And had better agility, and that was a tragedy.
Who was he? You know?
Mel Gray.
Dang, didn't pan out either. I could see if it turned up being something better on the backside, but didn't pan out.
And I remember on Dreamcast when the 2K games first dropped, NFL 2K, and it's like, that's when it was Randall Cunningham and I think Randy Moss on the Vikings. And yeah, that was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Good memories, sports.
I can't
sports
believe
games.
I remember that.
Hey, let's hit this break. We'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
At Guardian Credit Union, we believe that banking should be personal, just like the relationships we build with members. Imagine a place where you're not just a credit score, but a valued part of our community. At Guardian, our dedicated team takes the time to listen, understand, and tailor financial solutions that fit your unique needs. From buying a car to saving for college and even starting a small business, we've got you covered. Come experience the Guardian difference and let's achieve your financial goals together. Guardian Credit Union, where you belong. Federally insured by NCUA.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Adams Drugs has been committed to the healthcare of the people of the River region for over 62 years. We value the trust each customer has in our pharmacists, techs, and entire staff. If you have not experienced the difference of Adams Drugs and are not satisfied with the customer service that you get in the big box stores, we invite you to visit any of our locations and see how committed we are to your satisfaction. Adams Drugs offers a variety of services that you will not find in all pharmacies in the River region. Personalized compounding, area-wide delivery, wellness screenings, immunizations, medication consultations, and specialized packaging, just to name a few. Visit us at our website, adamsdrugs.net, and find the location nearest you. Adams Drugs has 12 convenient locations to serve you. Your satisfaction is our #1 goal. Adams Drugs is your local Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
This is your roving reporter, and today I am talking with an elk. Hey man. Mr. Elk, I was just wondering, what do elk do to take care of their money? Well, like most smart folks, we call David Ernest. You mean Alabama's most favorite asset preservationist? That's him, man. We call him up at 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. I see. Yes, he is our preferred money man. The money man with the money plan. You've been paying attention. Well, could you give us those numbers one more time? 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. And I just want to try to give you a heads up, man. Oh, what's that? I'm not an elk. Not an elk, huh? Well, then, pray tell, what are you? Knights of Columbus. I am not even going to make a comment. Well, the baby liked it.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is #1 in the #2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of H&H Carpets, across from Walmart on the Atlanta Highway, where right now you can get 1,050 square feet of carpet installed for $19.95, only at H&H Carpets in Montgomery.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. The month of February ending on a quiet note with mostly clear skies tonight. Overnight low temperature down to about 45. The first weekend of March is a very nice forecast. Plenty of sunshine Saturday and Sunday. Saturday's high 74. A little cooler on Sunday with a high around 63. Slight chance of showers Monday, mid-60s. And we have a severe weather potential. We've got our eyes on Tuesday night into Wednesday for a severe weather threat. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
You can make your ASC loan payments from your phone anytime, anywhere. It's quick and easy. www.yourasccu.com. Federally insured by NCUA.
Live, local talk. The River Region's most trusted voice for news and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary who played earlier, said we had a deal yesterday. Yeah. Well, here's Bessent today. I think this is after the fallout in the Oval Office.
Don't do a negotiation with the President of the United States in public like this. That we were scheduled to have lunch afterwards, and that perhaps he could have brought up some of the points. Instead, he chose to let things go into a downward spiral on worldwide television. And, again, I keep coming back to the disrespect of the American people. It was one thing for President Zelensky and I had an extended, heated negotiation in Kyiv, but we were going to get this economic agreement done. But, when you bring it out to the public like this, we'll see if there's any coming back.
Wow. And we just found that Zelensky, I'll just say it on air, because it's what happened. When J.D. Vance and Zelensky were back and forth, Zelensky's like, have you ever been to Ukraine? And J.D.'s like, no, I've read the reports and seen the problems. And under his breath, you hear Zelensky go, suka, which means in Russian, bitch.
Probably shouldn't have done that. And I could tell he didn't appreciate the whole vice president speaking up, as if it was kind of beneath him to speak. So I think it's done. I think he can come back begging, and
then his
do anything
best friend Lindsey Graham coming out saying,
Yep,
I love President Trump.
Right. Yep.
Because what I really love is mineral rights. And Zelensky, if you get in the way of my mineral rights, I'll show you how much I love them.
Is that what he really loves, mineral rights?
And women. I love women.
I hear he is crazy about women.
I'm Lindsey Graham, and I love women.
Salt baths.
I started doing a Keno escalation with this one staffer.
Oh,
first shaking her hand and kind of rubbing her hand. Then I started rubbing her back and stuff. She invited me over.
We'll be careful. Baby.
You know what we did? We played Parcheesi.
Y'all talked all night.
Mm-hmm. Which is the whole punchline of what? American Pie. Like the one dude who's bragging. It's like, yeah.
Parcheesi.
We played Parcheesi. Let's go to East of the Rockies.
Oh, wow, I got to follow that.
Yeah, batter up.
Dig this, guys. The impression I got, and thank you so much for playing that clip. I never would have gotten it out here in the field if it weren't for you. But my impression was he was acting like an Eastern European oligarch and was going to hustle his way through the White House, and Trump was going to have nothing of it.
Mm-hmm.
Here.
I mean, that's the impression I got.
Yeah, and I'd imagine, here's what I'm thinking, is that Bessent and Rubio and a bunch of other people, when they got this negotiation done in principle, they realized we got a problem.
Mm-hmm.
We got them to the table, we got them to agree in the back room, but we have a problem here with the tone that's coming across. Yeah. And so I suspect this was, like, Trump and Vance did this on purpose. To say, no, we're putting you in your place.
Yeah. I tell you what else it reminds me of, Joey. It reminds me of that television commercial where the mobster finds the dog food in the refrigerator and tells his boss, "Oh, you keep dog food in the refrigerator? Really?" And the next scene, the guy is being put in the trunk of a car, and you see the door close on him. You know, that was just
Get in the trunk.
That was just totally out of line, man. Zelensky's gone.
Yep.
Yeah, he's done. He's
Thanks
done.
for a great show today, guys. You made my Friday.
Thank you,
Thanks,
East.
East.
Take care, bud.
And there's so many different things we could get to in the closing moments. And you're reading more fallout from this, like the State Department canceling plans to renew the energy grid there in Ukraine. And I think it's going to continue here. We'll see what happens
Imagine
to
you're
Zelensky.
Zelensky, and you go back home, no peace deal. You're already less than 4% approval rate.
Dude, I don't think
I
he
don't
goes
think
back
you go
home.
home. Yeah, I don't think you go home.
No, I don't think you get away with that very easily. Now, I want to go to the Doge thing real quick. Because Doge is, it's really bringing up like all the conversations about you're hurting working people. You're hurting the average worker, right? You're just hurting them so bad. And I don't know if I can take, like, I know, for instance, Musk just came out, and I think he's right. The conversation Jeff Deist and I just had. Members of Congress and like federal workers, Musk's idea was pay them more so you attract the best talent and you have less, say, inclination to corruption. Like, I'm getting a good check. I'm doing a good job doing it. And so, like, why would I ever come up with some scheme unless I was truly, like, way too greedy? So I don't know how many times I can see. Let's see if I can find this. Yes. Oh, wait, no, this is the wrong one. This was Trump just the other day looking at the Gulf of America map. Did y'all see this?
Mm-mm.
And he said this.
I'm just admiring it as I look at it. I'm getting teary-eyed, but I don't want you to say Trump broke down and started crying. No, how beautiful is that? Look at it.
See, I was looking for tears. And that is what you keep seeing. Like, here's a segment. Let's see where it's from MSNBC. MSNBC put this out, and it's like all this AstroTurf town hall stuff. Let's listen in. This is apparently a federal worker.
The email that came out wanting us to justify our jobs with 5 things we did last week was on Saturday night. And I was literally working on Saturday night to make up for all the distractions I had had the previous week, which came from the executive branch. And so I'm working, trying to catch up on things, and then I get that email on top of it. It's very hard to keep your train of thought when you're getting threatened and harassed. Like,
they're your boss, woman. And it wasn't a performance review. It's just answer with 5 freaking bullet points. Like, and it's that sort of thing where I'm like, what in the world? And folks trying to make this out as like, oh, the poor put upon person. No, what has happened is these government programs have become full employment programs for middle class, upper middle class folks who, in the name of serving other folks, well, they're sitting pretty. Excuse me, pardon me. There are many federal workers that will keep their jobs, who should keep their jobs. There are going to be a lot of people who are hired as well. But there's clearly a mentality also that's like, you can't tell us what to do.
Well, see, that's it, the culture. Like,
yes.
I can tolerate somebody not having very substantive 5 bullets, at least if they turned it in on time. If they didn't respond to the 5 bullet points, they need to all be fired. I mean, if you can't do that,
right,
you better be in the hospital or have lost, arms and feet and can't hold a pen or a pencil with your toes.
Well, and it is remarkable, like how quickly is this USAID money, it's maybe just a coincidence, that like all these people at these major media companies start getting fired. And did you see the hysterical thing Rachel Maddow did? She's like, I'll still be here on Mondays and so, but Joy Reid's gone and this is just wrong and all this stuff.
She could have hired her.
Well, Megyn Kelly calls out Rachel Maddow.
Oh.
About Maddow's public complaints and sort of said that she should put up or shut up, basically, but also about her expensive real estate, about her homes. And I'm curious, like, do you have any compunction about getting that personal?
No.
I would never give out her address. That would be a bridge too far, and it doesn't compare to what happened to Tucker in any way, shape, or form. But Rachel Maddow got out there and tried to act like, oh, I'm a woman of the working class. I'm here to represent the poor staffers who could lose their jobs now as a result of Joy Reid biting it. And meanwhile, she's collecting $25 million a year. She's got multiple homes worth millions. You know what? Why don't you take a $2 million pay cut and save 10 of those jobs? If you feel that sad, you don't even have to pay it out of your bank account. Just tell them, pay me $23 million next year instead of $25. She won't do it. She wants to seem virtuous and sanctimonious, but in fact, she's only the latter because she won't actually put any money on the line. And an example of the exorbitant life she leads while she's trying to remind us, oh, I've worked so many jobs, the jobs I've worked, puts to the point her hypocrisy.
Well, and I think this is what the Democrats lost, is they lost the actual, like, class war. The energy that was there after the bailout of the big banks. The energy that's there when everybody's like, dadgummit, we're lied into another war? What? The energy that's there when the cost of everything's going up. And it's much more difficult for everyday wage earners to actually make do.
I got another one for you, too. It's whenever they told certain people who was essential and who wasn't.
Yep.
When you
COVID is a whole...
Well, no, I'm talking about like actually telling a human being you're not as important as this person. They lost a lot of people then.
Yeah, but I kind of think some people are more important than others.
Producers and takers.
Yeah.
Givers and takers.
And I say that thinking there are a lot of people much more productive than I am.
You get by.
Like, yeah, I get by. But my sense is like, it's more we got to get our priorities straight. I think the mentality is the culture is we're untouchable. How dare this clown that was elected president tell us what to actually do with people he's appointed as his advisors? That should just never happen.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a op-ed out. It's at, of all places, spiked.com.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, Doge is waging a class war on America's nuclearacy. Elon's department represents a significant challenge to the entitled, well-paid, and self-serving bureaucracy. It seems to be largely the ever-mounting hysteria seems to be largely coming from that large sector of Americans who work for or in other ways feed from Washington's seemingly bottomless trough. As government employment and spending have cascaded in recent years, which it has, this has created not so much a deep state as the right might say or suspect, but a huge and expanding protected class of people who are anxious to defend their livelihoods. Most anti-Doge Jeremides avoid questions of class or self-interest. Predictable Democratic allies like the Atlantic accuse Musk of presiding over a reign of ineptitude and waging war on defenseless civil servants. Some suggest that this reflects a deep-seated desire by GOP Neanderthals to remove objective empiricists from Washington, presumably the same experts who led the nation into mounting debt, high inflation, increasing class division, and a chronic inability to get things built at a reasonable cost, not to mention the whole COVID debacle. Many have resorted to the tired old fascist meme, and the class dynamics at play in Doge are not as straightforward as some would have it. It's not simply a case of Musk, the billionaire oligarch, ruthlessly attacking the lowly administrator. The impetus for Doge is primarily driven by a conflict within the middle class. On one side are public workers whose pay and pensions well exceed those in the private sector. On the other, there are millions who pay taxes and feel harassed by regulations, particularly among Trump's base of small business owners. Millions of middle and working class families not sucking the federal teat are falling ever behind the affluent elites who seem to control the state, whichever party is in power. And that's where I'm going to stop because I think that hits the nail on the head.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's like it sucks anytime somebody loses their job. It really does. But you have to consider the way you get your money. I've been wanting to write it for a while. The myth of the non-political bureaucrat. You might do your job without thinking of partisan politics. That's how you should do the job.
Sure.
Awesome. Thank you for that. You might work a job, but where do you get your money?
Yep.
And I hate, without hating individuals, I hate that mentality of like, it's the same exact thing as somebody who starts a small business and takes the risk. It's not. It never has been. Anyway, I've probably pissed off enough government workers here in this segment, so we'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
This is Jacob with Pest Pro Services. We are locally owned and operated, and we are proud to be a top 15 small business in the state of Alabama. We specialize in pest, mosquito, and termite control, and we would love to earn your business. Give us a call for a free inspection and estimate. 265-9990, 265-9990. Or you can visit us on the web at ppsriverregion.com or find us on Facebook at Pest Pro Services. When you want to know, call a pro. Pest Pro Services.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
The River Region's News Talk station. News Talk 93.1, WACV. News Talk 93.1.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Normally we'd be talking to Ray Bowles at this time, but it seems like he's busy.
Seems to be.
And working for the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
But he works on the weekend sometimes
Yeah, he
too,
does.
right? Yeah.
Yep.
So, deal is, when you deal with Prattville Carpet, I mean, you're just working with great folks. You hear Ray all the time on these airwaves.
Good guy.
It just creates a great atmosphere there, and they really get the job done. They will do that free in-home measurement.
Yep.
Just call them up, 285-8117, and they'll come and measure, and then you pick out the type of product you want to resurface.
Exactly right.
Could be traditional hardwood, the luxury vinyl plank.
Vinyl plank,
They're getting studied up on the new epoxy floors.
I've seen some of those, Joey. Garages and kitchens and things like that, they look amazing.
Yeah. And so if you're looking to resurface, it doesn't have to be a floor. Could be you want to do the countertop.
Yeah.
Backsplash.
Want some granite?
They can help you with all of that there at Prattville Carpet. It all begins with that phone call, 285-8117. When you call them up at 285-8117, be sure to tell them that Joey Nettie, those fellas on the radio, sent you. So what did we learn today?
I just learned from Jay that 85 North is not going nowhere, apparently. She says it's backed up even behind the station. So if you're in traffic, you already know, but if you're getting ready to leave work, well, you might want to.
Do you think the economic blackout, like boycott, worked today?
I had hopes, but then I started seeing pictures from people out shopping, and there were long lines just like there are every day.
Well, there's one thing I learned this morning just looking here on the iPad.
Yeah?
You know, folks are like, Elon Musk is going to get our information and whatnot.
You don't want your 550 credit score, but yeah.
You know, IRS contractor Charles Littlejohn. Remember that name?
Oh, yeah.
He stole Donald Trump's tax returns.
Yes, I do remember that.
And he
guy.
was hailed as like a hero of the resistance.
Yes.
Well, while Trump was a big target, now we have learned that Littlejohn also stole tax information of over 400,000 people.
He wasn't just doing one.
And he was celebrated.
Yeah, of course he was.
But Elon Musk is going to break into...
Yeah.
Y'all come up with something different, because it ain't working. Fascist!
I did see last
okay,
night,
whatever.
too, another healthcare CEO, someone went and shot up their house. That's getting crazy, Joey.
Yeah, it is. Oh, no, and I'm pretty sure the death threat's being thrown at Musk, at Trump, and...
Even Musk said he's gotten more than he's ever before, which...
And then, of course, with all this breaking news, we didn't get to this from the New York Post headline.
Yeah.
Would-be Trump assassin Thomas Matthew Crooks may have had an accomplice.
You think?
Data show. As investigators say, FBI is suppressing info. You think?
Did their accomplice have a acronym for a name? Like a 3-letter acronym?
Epstein, the assassination.
Yep.
I want the more recent stuff. The past would be cool to look at, too. But there's...
the more recent stuff I agree with, because it's a little bit harder for them to lie about that. I've seen that. I've seen a lot of that with my own eyes.
Yeah,
Where
they
some of the
didn't have
past
the time.
stuff, I'm not so sure.
But it feels good having president with a backbone again. I saw somebody put up a clip of the first cabinet meeting of Biden, and I'm like, oh my God, it's night and day. It really
I
is.
imagine so. But seeing this today with those two,
The sparring in the Oval Office.
I know a lot of people are going to say that's not the most professional moment, but I loved seeing a president that stood up for me and my beliefs. He didn't kowtow. He didn't say, hey, let's take this in the back room. He more or less said, you want to have it out here? We'll do it right here in front of the cameras. And who walked away looking like the ass?
By the way, just to underline what you said, and here's the lesson, especially if you're a Democrat out there listening, having an emotional connection with somebody on basic values is worth a hell of a lot more than any stupid argument or thing you can throw out there. And right now, when I look at so-called leaders on that side, y'all ain't connecting with many folks at all, if any.
Nope.
But that man in the Oval Office is. Y'all stay tuned. Happy Hour with Greg Budell and Pamela Dubuque, and I think Eddie Bader's staying
hang
on.
out with him, yeah.
I might stick around for a little while.
Come on.
We're next.
We got snacks.
From the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM.